The moment of creation is a form of magic, where an off becomes an on, a 0 becomes a 1, then another, and another, until, deep in the complexity, you discover order, speed, reliability, power. Experience the WD BLACK NVMe SSD. Fueled by darkness. Level up to NVMe SSD performance.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the WD Black, the Esports Club Pro League for Rainbow Six Siege, powered by, actually supported by Ubisoft in association with ACD Fibernet and AFK Gaming. I'm your host, Foxtrot, and we've got Baba Gusta with me. Baba, how are you doing this lovely evening?
Well, Foxy, I've been doing an absolutely fantastic year. I was about to say Jack instead of saying Foxy. It's been a
You
long
know,
time
it's
since a
it's
duo
very
has been
weird.
back,
It's very
Foxy.
weird, Baba, the
Hmm.
way Jack happens to confuse me for you, and you happen to confuse me for Jack. I mean, what are the similarities between us? But anyways, no, I get it. I get it. It's a force of habit, and I wouldn't blame you too much. But yeah, speaking of which, we've got ourselves the Division Two live today, people. That's right, Division Two first play day for Season One. I'm so hyped right now because the first match that we'll be getting to witness is going to be Love Bomb versus Tianet Valiants. Both of these amazing teams. For those of you who don't know, Love Bomb actually does have some players from ex Nova Esports. If you don't know Nova Esports, that is ex Team Self-Nade. That's right. Kira Esports has been paying homage to that team for almost 2 matches now, nading themselves time and again. But hey, we got ourselves Love Bomb finally in. They've had the third rebrand with a little bit of a roster change as well, and looking very strong, at least from the stands of what we did get to see from them in qualifiers. But right now, my eyes are going to be on Tianat Valiants. Baba, what do you think is being brought on board with this amazing match that is ahead of us?
I mean, Foxy, first things first, the map is going to be on coastline, so it's more of like a frag fest for both of these teams. And we're going to be seeing some excited triple kills or quad kills. Who know? Maybe the attackers might win more rounds, or will the defenders will be able to get their win on map coastline? Or it's a very big question mark, as I would like to add on it. But we did. Rarely see coastline being played, especially on Division One. I believe it was Batrip Esports, I believe, going up against Kira
Fermi
Esports,
Esports.
maybe?
That
Yeah,
was
Ferrum
Fermi. That was
Esports,
Fermi.
yes. Yeah, yep.
I cannot forget that match because, Battery Esports literally challenged Ferrum on their home map. You don't do
Mhm.
that stuff. And that's what they got. They got a fitting reply back. They lost that match 7-3, and that was huge. Was that 7-2? Nevertheless, it was a very definitive victory for Ferrum Esports. But that out of the way, we'll be moving off from Coastline. We'll be going once again back into it. And Division Two, the way it happens to offer, I can not just overemphasize the way Williams have been so far. And more importantly, it's just the fact that it's an amazing team. I've not seen anybody happen to perform this well, this consistently. That is, Valiance always stepping up. They are testing the limits. They're trying to push the limits. The single team in the entirety of the league, in the last league at least, they could not qualify for 3 seasons straight, qualified for the third season, and every single season after that, they made the grind happen and they found themselves in Division One in the final season. So, if there is any example or any motivation you want to take away from it, please do so because hey, that's stuff you don't get to see every day. Valiants have definitely pulled off something that I don't think any else team has so far. And yes, they haven't. Havocs came a little close to it, but just could not survive the heat of Division 2. Not everybody is made for it, but hey, Valiance, all eyes on them, like I said in the beginning of this. And looks like we're just waiting for the players to get into the lobby. I'm sure, see, everybody out there in the chat, I know you guys get a lot, you get very impatient that when is the match going to start? Honestly, we don't want to keep you waiting. We just want to get into it. The moment we have everybody in the lobby, is just that sometimes there's some player issues, xyz stuff, and we respect that. That's okay. It's just gonna give them time. It's not even their fault. We're gonna get into the lobby soon, but right now, Baba, we do know Valiance. That discussion is already done with. That means we already have so much more information to go with on them. But Love Bomb, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, Foxy, for Team Love Bomb, I have no resource on what kind of playstyle there is. So I'm quite curious to know what kind of plays that they're going to go from. Especially, I have no idea on what particular play is going on the support duty, as well as the particular players who are going to do the fragging duty. Now, when it comes to any game on Rainbow Six Siege, the fraggers are the main important part for any, Rainbow Six Siege, the game of Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's most probably it's mainly due to these guys who make those risky plays, gets those important kills, so that the person who are anchoring the sites, aka the supports, shouldn't have any problems dealing with those opponents. Now, with that keeping in mind, Love Bomb, hopefully we might be able to see a particular fragger as well as a support, so basically to just mutually balance it out, even though the map is on coastline. And for defenders, there is a higher chances where we might be able to see a smoke or a maestro being picked. It depends on what kind of bans there is, because apparently in the previous season it was the similar bans over and over again on defense. So it was most of like a Mira and an Echo being banned time and time again. But in this season, we've seen quite different bans. So we'd see a Vamai being banned, we've seen Valkyrie being banned, we've seen Maestro being banned, and quite importantly, Melusi has been in the ban phase. So it is quite interesting
Melusi,
to see.
man.
Melusi, man, Melusi, my
Oh my
goodness.
god.
Her
Seriously.
primary, yes, yes, Foxy. Her weapon T5 SMG, followed up with the Nitro Cell C4, and her utility named as the Banshee Deterrent. Now, that it's basically like sugar, spice, and everything nice. You combine together to form a pop of girls, but instead you found Melusi instead. So, yeah, it's quite interesting to see those great amount of ban phase. So, when we get into the map of coastline, it's going to be quite interesting to see what kind of the operators that they're going to be banning on. First things first, on defense, I believe they're going to ban Valkyrie, because most of the time it is quite popular for Valkyrie to go for those specific runouts, thanks to her Valkyrie cams to check exactly what kind of positioning that the attackers is going to be on. So banning Valkyrie on defense should be a viable fix for them, but it depends. It depends on what kind of playstyle they're going in. As I was saying previously, I have absolutely no idea on what Team Love Bomb is going to provide us going up against
Hey,
Team Valiant,
I
because
think
they've
I
been performing
do.
quite well.
I have a little bit of idea on Love Bomb.
Mhm.
The fact that Praveen Nemesis, I'm able to see him right now in the lobby. I do remember him bringing out some amazing Zofia plays. He happens to be a very great fragger for his team. I don't see him banking too much in terms of frag roles. Like usually, when you happen to expect frag potential from your teammates, you want to put them on Ash, you want to put them on Vigil. Maybe if he's a little, a little more utility centered, something like Jaeger. But it's been Praveen Nemesis just trying to, just finding that little window for him. And I believe I just cannot pinpoint this exactly because I'm not sure if my information is correct about this. That man had like a triple clutch match that won Nova Esports X Team Selfnet and now Love Bomb. A very important match for them in the qualifiers last time around in the last league. So most definitely will I'll be expecting more from Love Bomb, but from where we stand and from the history that we know of Valiance, it's most definite that it's going to be them on the, or at least on the advantage. I wouldn't say that they'll be winning this outright because that's just unfair. I don't know what Love Bomb has in store for us, and that is exactly why we're here to find out. And we'll be finding out in just a moment, people. I know. I'm getting impatient as well. As a Siege fanboy, I know exactly how that feels. I just cannot wait, ever. I always want to get into the match, cast it, and more importantly, watch these amazing players perform. And that's, I think, That's the best part of what we do here. At least me, Baba, and Blackjack. Just happening to watch the boys play, and it's just censored word amazing. So that being said, we'll be going ahead very soon as I get the confirmation from the host. That is right. In fact, I just got the confirmation, people, and just happened to go back to the meme we had of Baba Gusta, the Professor X meme. But hey, that's for another day. We are going into the match right here, right now. Love Bomb versus Tyranid Valiance on the map of Coastline is underway, and Baba, take it away.
Well, thank you so much for that, Foxy. As we begin our ban phase, just like I said on defense, there may be a little bit of changes in this new season. So hopefully, we might be able to see a Nomad ban or particularly a Montaigne ban coming in on the side of both the teams here. As we start off with our first ban phase, Blackbeard will be the operator who will be banned. Now he is one of the most dangerous opponents when it comes to getting that extra life up when he's peeking through a particular angle thanks to his rifle shield. So with him being out in play, let's see what kind of bans does Love Bomb will ban this operator next as we proceed to the second one, and is going to be the Montaigne. Quite surprisingly, quite a standard ban, as I might like to call it. And on a map like Coastline, there isn't a necessity to ban Thatcher because, most of the times the particular size that you go in would be on the second floor hookah as hookah billiards room, the first floor kitchen and service entrance, and the last would be on first floor blue bar and sunrise bar, in which there is a higher chances where the opponents might not take the second floor penthouse, and that's the reason why Thatcher has not become a necessity on map Coastline. Followed up with the first defender ban, we are going to be seeing a Vamai being banned. So no more of those Jaeger Vamai, compliments when it comes to denying utilities. And just as I was talking about it, the last ban would be none other than the Valkyrie. So we actually did talked about it on the previous, you know discussion against Foxy. But yep, that would be the ban phase. Vamai, Valkyrie, Blackbeard, and Montaigne. So keep that in mind. The Nomad is still in play, so we might be able to see the attackers picking that specific operator as we proceed to round one. First floor kitchen is going to be the site, and quite surprisingly, we are going to be a Melusi being picked on the side of Tyranid Valiance. That would be Archangel. So as we take a look at take a look at the rosters on the side of Team Love Bomb, we have Hunt, XM1, Praveen Nemesis, Lyric, and Easy Peasy. And on the side of TR8 Valiance, we have Killin, Salim Shady, Kingslayer, Hermie 1, and Archangel. Coming up with the sixth pick, we're going to be seeing XM1 changing from the Lion to the Ace. And I believe on the side of TR8 Valiance, we might be able to see a sixth pick as Hermie 1 changed to the Vigil. Now, since this site is going to be on first floor kitchen, it shouldn't surprise me. It is a standard map ban. I do have not a map ban. It's more of like a traditional way to start off the matchup, especially on a map like Coastline, being the fact that first floor kitchen has the highest possibility for the defenders to win against the attackers. But we'll see how it's going to go out. We still have those smokes with the entry denial coming in with those smoke canisters, for especially on those 30 seconds dying amounts of time when the attackers try to push in for the side to go for the plant. We have those smoke to eliminate those smoke canisters. Now the important part for the defenders is to make sure that they gain control of second floor penthouse and make sure that they waste a good amount of time as best as possible. As I was talking about it, we are going to proceed to the action phase while Hunt is spawned from the ruins. Actually, yes, it is from the ruins, and the rest of the team will be spawned from the main entrance. Hunt with the Nomad, those air jabs will be placed on the entrance of the sunrise bar just to make sure that those runouts won't be in play, and hopefully the Hermie one will be able to detect exactly where it is, so that he needs to make sure that he won't be able to go for that run out on exactly where Nomad's A jab is located at. Lots of drone works being coming in from the attackers, especially the supports. XM1, who is apparently playing as the ace, is going to drone out, figure out exactly what kind of positionings that TR and Valiance is going to be situated in, and they will eventually find exactly where Jaeger's position is. He will be compromised, and he has to be dealt with Nomad, I believe, already inside the sunrise bar, had a little bit of problem dealing with the Jaeger, so she will fall back just that and just hold the angle on the kitchen window. Zofia's impact is being used to make lines of sight from the VIP lounge, as Hermi1 is holding the angle from the blue bar, making sure that none of them would be able to go. He will be there to cover the angles, especially for the attackers. But here comes the first pick, and it is going to be Praveen off on the first round, thanks to Archangel with the Melusi plays. As we're going to be seeing quite an interesting side pick here, as the Ash is using the red dot sight of the R4C. I wouldn't really blame him. I mean, it's up to their, personal preference. Some would prefer the holographic side, some would prefer the reflex, and some to the red dot side. So with that keeping in mind, Kingslayer being also very close on service entrance, mind you. He has the shotgun, he has the SMG-11, but really needs to be careful for that magazine capacity, because that SMG-11 only has 16 bullets, and he needs to be very precise with that weapon. As we're going to be seeing a second kill, and that's going to be Killin, eliminating easy peasy. That's already 2 players down, but here comes an instant frag out, as XM will be there to eliminate one. Kingslayer, quite surprisingly, using the shotgun to eliminate Lyric right from above the penthouse, quite interestingly. With that, the attackers, they only have 40 seconds left, and all of those 2 players already in the kitchen, as Salim Shady will be there to eliminate Nova. But here comes XM1 with 2 kills. With that, he only has to worry about 1, but it's not going to work out well. Salim Shady with that final kill will be there to eliminate the heavy aggression of XM1, as they will win round 1 on first floor kitchen. As we proceed to round 2, let's take a look at that in Act Fibernet. It's instant replay. We did see some great kills coming in from XM1, who was playing as the ace, with that one direct pre-fire from the toilets through to the kitchen, eliminating 2 of those important players. But the most interesting thing that I have to talk about is Kingslayer with the shotgun, eliminating Ash right from below the service entrance to the top of the penthouse. Now that is an amazing sight to watch, but unfortunately we didn't get to look at, because it was already a lot of chaos been running on to. But hey, round 1 goes to the favor of TR and its Aliens. As we proceed to round 2, second floor hookah is going to be the side.
Well, a very, very nice round coming in for the first one, at least. That was TR Williams coming out very well. In fact, they had some amazing man count established, at least towards the end of the match. But here's the deal. Will we see Love Bomb try and step up and try and make the changes that they were? I did not exactly see a huge composure in the way they were happened to be attacking. But hey, I just might not be able to see the genius behind it. Who knows? It's their game. They're playing the way they want it. But from my perspective, not enough composure, just not enough structure to the way they happen to make that attack happen.
10 seconds remaining.
Coming back to this game, we got Kingslayer. He's running the Legion. Quite surprisingly, so we'll be getting to see the T5 SMG from the Legion and from the Melusi as well. So both of them will be employed in this match, while the attackers will be up and running underway. The main entrance spawn is what they've taken. Praveen Nemesis on the Zofia. Like I said, I'm so glad that I was correct. Oh boy, I feel so good right now that I still remember the fact that Praveen Nemesis happens to be a Zofia main. So yeah, let's see what we've got for ourselves going ahead into this match. The twist drone comes out from Easy Peasy. So he's going to make sure he gets some information, while the sledge also on the drone. Obviously, information first and foremost. That is exactly what you want to seek. An Archangel is going to get spotted. And here's the Hunter, Lyric. My man is going to make sure that with the Ash push-up is in onto the Melusi. Meanwhile, the Ace just making sure everything is up and running from his end, getting the drone works in for his teammates as well, while the angle will still be employed by the Ash. Mind you, the side is going to be hookah, and that means the attackers will have to gain so much more map control if they do want to attempt a possible plan. Even if it happens to come down to the hookah balcony or even on the side of Aquarium and the billiards room, they've got to make sure the map control is established a little earlier, because now you're hitting the 1 minute 50 mark, and picking up a fight, he's going to lose. That Archangel is going to take him down. There's a run out, but no, Archangel gets the double. Look at this. The man is going wild right now. Hunter's going to take the fall. That's 2 kills already on the board for this man. He might as well be looking for the third, but right now, it's going to be all these attackers away from him. Let's see if he's still able to find them. Everybody else on the side, meanwhile, very patient, very peaceful. They're just not, they're not exactly put out of the comfort zone, except until now. Ace getting the Summer Beach is done on the side of VIP, while he'll be watching for his own flank as well. That is going to be XM1. All this easy peasy already make the push. He's going to start the alibi, and that goes down. Hermione is going to be the one to take the fall, but caught up in a little bit of a bad position. I'm not sure if you want to use the C4 to do that, but he's still going to make sure he confirms that frag. Killen getting that frag onto easy peasy. It's all on the Praveen Nemesis and XM1 in a 2 versus 4 that they've got to win against with only 50 seconds left for them. The push-up will be in, but Tianet Wales knows exactly what's up. They know that both of these attackers are bottlenecked into one single doorway, and that means the only way they could come out of that is in the VIP hallway. Waiting to make this push happen, as the push will be in fact happening right now. That is Praveen Nemesis going wide with Zofia. He's got support, but no, it won't matter. Killen gets a post frag. Here's the kill from VAs. Tries to find a second, but no, it'll be Kingslayer who's gonna finish him off. And that'll be Tianet Williams winning the second round as well. And very, very well done from the side of the defensive team once again. Look at that kill. Oh boy, Kingslayer definitely not taking any of it. We'll be taking a quick look at that in the Act 5 minutes instant replay. What a round coming in once again for Tianet Valiants. They definitely needed that victory, but more importantly, it was done in style.
Well, round 3 will be in play, and looks like TR8 Valiants in a total of 2 solid rounds lead against Love Bomb. As we proceed to round 3, first floor blue bar is going to be the site. Quite standard pick, as I would like to call it, and just as I was talking about it, here comes the 6th pick from both the teams, as Archangel is deciding to shift from the Dog to the Mira, and Hunt will be changing from the Hibana to the Thatcher. Now, I mean, I do kind of agree why you actually do need a Thatcher, because he is not just an operator to just to help to open up the walls in which it is electrified by either Bandit or Khaid, but it also gives the opportunity to disable some of the utilities like the Jaeger's ADSs or the Vamai's Magnetines. In fact, Vamai is however banned, but since on the blue bar there is always a deployable shield being placed right at the entrance, followed up with those 2 ADSs. So for Thatcher, all he has to do is to just place his EMPs either at the sides of the reinforced wall or at the balcony of the hookah to make sure that he can be able to disable those ADS and make sure to eliminate the deployable shield as fast as possible. And quite surprisingly, you won't be able to see a deployable shield being used, but instead you're going to be seeing a kitchen hold coming in with quite a lot of utilities as well. The Mira walls being placed, which would connect right from the kitchen through to the service entrance with a little bit of ADS into the mix, making sure that the one who is holding that specific position won't be able to get picked off with a particular nade from the attackers. And keeping that in mind, the action phase will be in play, and Kingslayer, I believe it wasn't Kingslayer, it was Archangel who was playing as the Melusi in the previous round, where he did get those 2 important kills right from the Sunrise bar. But since we are going to be seeing quite a little bit of roaming capabilities, and Lyric, he doesn't want to waste time, the push comes in and he'll be there to eliminate the Jaeger. And with that, Lyric getting those important kills will get the control on the side of kitchen, which would give the attackers the opportunity to push in without having any problems. The only problem that Lyric has to deal with is that he only has 20 HP left, so he need to make his shots count. Well, a lot of chaos being displayed, and I believe Ash is trying to make a fight against the Legion, and she will win that gunfight, but Kingslayer on the other hand will be there to eliminate the sledge. Quite a lot of trades coming in, but Killen will be there to get another one. That is Praveen Nemesis. The Zofia won't be in play, and with that, a lot of man counts will decrease, but it's still equalized just for now, as Archangel is prepping in for the C4, sees the head, won't be able to connect, but that C4 does, as he reloads the gun yet again. Thatcher already pushed in, going for the plant with that smoke. All Archangel has to do is wait for that push, but that heavy aggression will be there to eliminate both of those players. Oh my, Archangel with that heavy aggression. For a moment there, I thought he was going to wait for the smoke to dissipate, but he was impatient, ladies and gentlemen. He just pushed in, eliminates the Ash, and then turns back, eliminates the Thatcher in the process to give them the win. Let's take a look at that in Act Fabrinet's instant replay. What flicks! My oh my. I just did not expect it to see the heavy aggression that TR8 Valiants is showing, especially on the side of defense. Well, as we proceed to round 4, first floor kitchen is going to be the site, and with TR8 Valiants with a solid defense lead yet again. It's quite interesting, and I actually do have to appreciate a lot of plays that Lyric, who was playing as the Ash, eliminating the Jaeger at the right moment. Although she didn't had that much of HP remaining to contest with the other four players, but she was there gaining the control on the kitchen and eliminating one of the player from the VIP lounge. But unfortunately, due to less amount of HP, she couldn't get to move more. And with that, as we continue to round 4, first for kitchen will be the site. And for Team Love Bomb, they need to make sure that they find a weakness of TR and Rebellions and make sure that they eliminate them as fast as possible. Now, it's always on the mid round where Team Love Bomb is having a lot of problems to deal with, and even on a little bit of early rounds as well. Although we didn't get to see quite a lot of bodies being dropped from the early round, it's on the mid round and after the mid round, it should be the late rounds where the attackers try to execute. They always in the late rounds we actually did see Love Bomb having a lot of opportunities, a lot of clutchable situations coming in on the side of attackers, but quite sadly the defense is very solid and they have no possible answers to make a retaliation out of it. As I was talking about
I'll
it,
have to
actually,
agree with you on that, Blackjack.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Baba. Because the way we saw Archangel play the last round out, the man's prioritization on the kills was amazing. He made sure he got the planned denial with the diffuser in with the C4. Did not even have to go for the extra peek. I'm not sure if not sure what went through Easy Peasy's mind when he brought that sledgehammer over there, but no. Coming back to Archangel's play in the last round, very well done. Getting the cover first and then the planter. That was something that we badly needed. But looks like there's a push in, and the push in is going to be a plant on the service entrance. They're trying to attempt this. We'll be seeing a little bit of aggression coming in from Kingslayer, but he knows exactly what is up. He knows that there's somebody who's rapid reverse. Let's see if we'll be able to see more of that coming in from the side of the attack. They're getting the vertical play in. We're seeing the Vigil's vibes come out as well. Killen, I'm not sure where he's roaming. Killen's proved out to be an amazing player for TN Variants, but more importantly, the man is hungry for heads and he always somehow finds them. Right now, it's going to be in and around Zofia. He's actually in a very good position along with Archangel to go for a possible flank now any moment. But meanwhile, so much is happening on site that they've got to make sure they keep their calm, keep their cool, and make sure all of this goes into with perfection. Push will be in, I'm not sure from where, but no, there's Kingslayer. He's gonna get a frag, and
well, looks like we just lost Fossey there as we're going to proceed. Quite a lot of barrage kills as we get to see on the side of attack. Love Bomb having a two-man disadvantage as Hunt already been decreased. Quite a lot of HP. He has a diffuser in hand, but Salim Shady will be there with the Jaeger holding on the Sunrise Bar, eliminating Hunt. But at what cost? They only have to make that one as Praveen is down and confirmed yet again by the Jaeger himself, which leads to XM1 all by himself, and he needs to find a total of 4 players of Team TR and Aliens here. It is going to be very difficult, although we actually did see on round 1 where XM1 did get 3 kills on this specific site, but since XM1 is all by himself, no intel, and he needs to find 4 more as XM1 eliminates the bandit. He will be there to eliminate Kingslayer, making it a double kill, whips the pistol out, but Salim Shady will be there to eliminate XM1. Triple kill in his name, I believe, as TRN Valiants are unstoppable here, winning a total of 4 defense rounds in a row as we proceed to round 5, and Love Bomb have absolutely zero idea on what kind of things that they have to contest against.
well, that is right though. I'm not sure why I happen to be blanking out on you guys. I don't mean to abandon you like that, but hey, we're back here, and round 5 is indeed underway. 0-4, a very, very definitive lead that I'm getting to see TN Valiants take up. Will we see Love Bomb try and stand up against them? The way it looks like, that's a far-fetched dream. Iana pick will be coming in from XM1. That is from the Ace. Looks like they don't want to be implying too much on the hard breach. And I understand why they don't want to do that. It's coastline. You just want to make sure you go out and get those frags in. Let's see going ahead what we've got for ourselves in this match. Are we seeing Salim Shady brought out the Vigil, and I like the switch up in terms of operator roles that is coming out from the players. Killen will be on the Jaeger once again. We've got Kingslayer who's brought up the alibi. Loving the emphasis of alibi when it comes to maps like Coastline. You want to bamboozle your opponents, at least try and throw them off. Well, obviously the Melusi will be working in cohesion with the way you want to be holding site. But so far, it's not been that. Even if Love Bomb is able to make or get map control done, the moment they happen to push up on towards the site, it's just falling apart for them because there's just too many crossfires and not enough manpower for Love Bomb left towards the end to make this something useful. Got XM1 once again. He's rocking the Ana. He's going to make sure he gets the drone works in as somebody's playing in kitchen once again. Archangel actually will be down and finished by XM1 as I spoke about just a second ago. Lyric still watching that little angle. We've got Easy Peasy on the drones as well. Salim Shady, meanwhile, on the Vigil is going to get himself a nice bullet. Oh boy, he just noticed somebody and he missed that. That is such. That he must have hit his head on the desk for missing that shot because that was a free kill that he happened to miss out on because he was reloading. And he's just going to do that once again. Knowing the push up from Praveen Nemesis has happened, it's possibly the default cam going off, giving away his position. Any moment now, we'll be seeing the push happening from the side of the Vigil or the Zofia for that matter. Face checking every single angle, and the face check will turn into Killen's death for the while. But the Vigil is creeping up, though. I'm not sure if the Zofia knows this. No, she doesn't. Meanwhile, Hermione is going to get Lyric. That's a huge kill because that's your last down, and that means one less fragger to worry about. Zofia, very invested in this peak that she's going for, does not know Salim Shady is up here, and he's going to get that. A nice headshot is going to equalize the score count here, at least in terms of manpower that I'm getting to see from both these teams. 3-3 is indeed 3 versus 3 is where we are standing at. Penta's control taken by the attackers. They're slowly trying to make this push happen on the side of VIP, but they've got to be so careful from the flanks that are coming in. I don't see them employ any anti-flank operators here, at least not for the while. Maybe is going to come out and do the scouting for him. Try to see that if somebody's coming up for a flank, but for now it's not going to be that. It's going to be Kingslayer is going to get a frag, and Easy Peasy takes the fall. A 2 versus 3 with Hunt Nova on a very low HP. That is your sledge. That means you've got so much more frag potential. There goes Hunt Nova as I speak about it on the blue stairs, and that is going to be Kingslayer's double kill as well. Kingslayer will get shut down though. A quick flick from his side, but that attempt was a failure. A 1 versus 3, make that a 1 versus 2 now as the Yana did get a frag, but here's Salim Shady to get that finishing frag for Tianet Valence as well. As the way it looks like, the defensive team is just having a field day with what Love Bomb has brought on table.
Well, round 6, and Tianet Valence in a solid lead yet again with the total of 5 consecutive defense wins in a row, and it has a higher chances of having a flawless victory against them. And the previous round that the previous matchup that we actually did get to witness a flawless victory was Monka S going up against Bad Trip Esports on map Oregon, and who, my boy, my God. I just, see, this is the reason why I always get speechless on one of those matchups because, you'd see QB with the Chanka being played and he just keeps on playing for the past 6 rounds. You have absolutely no idea on what to talk about it. And, I'm just speechless. You don't have any other words to describe how well this actually has gone up on. And yes, as I was talking about it, yes, in Division 2, we might be able to see another flawless win coming in on the side of Tianet Valence, even though map Coastline attackers do have an opportunity to win the specific site, but unfortunately they don't have any counters whatsoever to eliminate the important roamers on Tianet Valence, especially Salim Shady, who is apparently playing as the Jaeger as well as the Vigil on some particular roundouts. He's getting those important frags and also those instant trade-outs in which is having Love Bomb having a lot of problems to deal with that specific operator. And I believe he did, however, get tagged out quite a bit. I mean, he did get, killed in around 2 or 3 rounds is what I was talking about. But hey, anyways, round 6 in play, we're going to be seeing a lot of operators on the side of defense holding on Penthouse, and Killen will be there holding on the office, but he still needs to be careful. That drone work will be able to detect exactly where his location is, and he needs to be careful. Meanwhile, you're going to be seeing Salim Shady playing also very close on Kitchen, thinking about going for a spawn peek, but sadly, without having any information being relayed to the defense, it would be wise to not go for it. And with that, Archangel, we actually did seen him make those impressive 3K with his Vector SMG. Will he be able to make the same thing yet again? Well, let's just find out. Praveen and XM pushing in, and he actually sees the head Archangel, but he will miss it, giving a lot of opportunities to deal with, but not to kill him. And looks like Archangel will find the head of Praveen. Still needs to find two more, and those two operators are holding the angle on the Sunrise Bar entrance. Lyric really needs to be careful here, because that Vector is a devastating weapon to go up against, and Lyric almost finding the opportunity to get the head out of Mira. She is lucky just for now. Kingslayer eliminating easy peasy, and Lyric finally getting the head off of Archangel. He has the control, but not for now. Legion with the double kill, eliminating Lyric, and also the diffuser being down on the hookah balcony, giving the defenders quite a lot of opportunities to deal with, and looks like they are going quite aggressive plays, especially Killen, who did, however, go for a run out right from the below billiards window, I believe. No, it was actually from the blue bar window to go for a run out, but unfortunately won't be able to get it. And just like that, Killen will be there to get that final kill, eliminating XM1. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, 6 consecutive defense rounds in a row in favor of TR&8 Valiance as we proceed for a role swap to see how well TR&8 Valiance is going to go on attack. Keep that in mind, TR&8 Valiance is on match point. And Team Love Bomb, since they are on defense, they might be able to salvage this round off. The only problem is they have to do it 6 rounds in a row. Now, keeping that in mind, winning 6 rounds in a row is going to be a difficult task for them, because there are those specific sites in which the attackers has the most opportunity to get those wins. And with the Team Love Bomb, although I do have to appreciate a numerous amount of efforts trying to weaken their defense, but quite sadly they did not, however, get those win on those particular sites, leaving TR&8 Valiance 0-6.
Well, quite the match we're getting to see on Coastline, and honestly, I'm not very surprised. I said this in the beginning of the match as well. The fact that TR&8 Valiance is, in fact, the most accomplished team that happened to be in the league, and that is a huge thing that you can have for yourselves. A title that you can keep on yourselves for yourselves. TR&8 Valiance are having none of it, whatever Love Bomb has been presenting them with per day. One could always say that Coastline happens to be attacker favored map. They happen to win 6 rounds in succession because they obviously had the support of the map on their side. But hey, will this round be any different, or will we see the first 7-0 come out in fact, the first match of the Division 2 right away? Right now, it's just going to be prep, and I'm going to see a whole lot of that being done. Once again, we will be seeing the T5 SMG being employed from both the sides. I mean, from both the operators, that is XM1 and Easy Peasy on the Legion. We're getting the Melusi traps are done and dusted. Just making sure all of them are placed at the perfect positions. We'll be seeing Praveen Nemesis with the Jaeger is going to hold down on the side of blue stairs. Right now, he's not going to be finding anybody, at least maybe some drones, yeah. Except for that, nothing else. Push-up will be in from Kingslayer as he's trying to make his way into Sunrise, but we'll be seeing Hermie 1. He's all the way on top, wants to watch the roof, while... there we go, Kingslayer is actually pushed up inside, while Salim Shady will be making his way on the top of the hookah. Trying to find any strays here, at least trying to peek the side of Aquarium balcony, or maybe even the hookah window. That is going to be a Rappler on it, though. There you go, a kill comes in. No, that was a down, Easy Peasy. He's taking so much damage, he's gonna go down finally. Archangel is gonna make sure that he does quick work of him. Great drone work from the side of TR&8 Valiance, giving away so much more information, and the trade-off just worked perfectly in the cohesion between the players. The push-up will be in. Praveen Nemesis gets Herbie 1, while Salim Shady is gonna shut down Hunt. We didn't see the refract come in, at least not in the true sense, but there goes another one. That'll be Proveen Nemesis taken off the board. Lyric meanwhile is going to get Kingslayer. That's a refrag, like I talked about. A 2 versus 3. Archangel trying to go and retrieve the diffuser. Salim Shady is still watching this angle on the rappel that he's got for himself. No, that'll be killing, in fact. Salim Shady is trying to make the push happen on the side of Hookah. Lyric takes so many shots. He does not know where that is coming from. He gets one, but he gets refrag right back in place. Velusi is here to get him. XM1 bringing out the plays, which was very necessary. A 1 versus 2 that he's got to fight against. And the diffuser is not in the hands of the attackers. As I speak about it, Archangel has indeed retrieved it, and we'll be seeing him make his way in with some scouting, with some drone work, standard stuff being done. Kill it. A very, very indomitable fragger. You don't want to be peeking him, but right now, he's going to be coming hunting for you. In fact, the plant will be going down after obviously the Legion mines go out, but no killing like I talked about, people. He's going to get the frag, and that was round 7, done and dusted. T-Anod Valiants will be taking this 7-0, flawless, dominating. More than just that, this was a terrorist hunt match that we just got to see.
Well,
Too good.
Fox. Yeah, well, I actually do have to agree on that. Although I actually do have to point out some of the mistakes that Team Love Bomb was doing, especially Lyric, who was playing as the Vigil. He was holding on the side of Office, but quite surprisingly, he wasn't there to contest the Sunrise bar, in which the attackers repelled one from the hookah window and the second billiards window without having any problems for worrying about the run out coming in from the defenders. Although, if they do, however, had the control on Sunrise Bar or went for a run out right outside the office, they would have hopefully got at least 1 or 2 kills, which would halt the aggression from TR8 Valiants and hopefully get that at least one win against Team Love Bomb. But they decided to go full turtle hold against them, and looks like it did not quite work out well. TR8 Valiants with a flawless victory against Team Love Bomb. And just like Foxy said, it was just a terror tea hunt match indeed for them.
Yeah, all
Although,
disrespect to Love Bomb, though. Like,
yeah, I mean,
with
they
utmost
did try.
respect, I know it might come out a little harsh, but that was a little too much of domination that we did get to see. 7-0 is not something we get to see every day, at least not in Division 2.
I mean, yeah, I do have to agree on that, Jack. Sorry, not Foxy.
Yeah,
I mean,
see,
it's.
at
I
this
mean,
point,
this has
that's
happened
okay.
every single time, Foxy. So yeah,
That's okay.
I mean, yeah. Actually, I do have to appreciate the amount of weaknesses that Lovebond was trying to find out, and especially, I believe it was the Ash on attack on the side of Team Lovebomb, who did, however, eliminates the Jaeger, who was holding on the side of Kitchen, with a lot of Miras being placed as well as the ADSs. And then after that, he did, however, get another kill, eliminating the Legion right from the VIP lounge. And afterwards, we didn't get to see more from Team Love Bomb. On first round, I actually get to see XM1 playing as the ace, getting those 3 important kills. But on a map like Coastline, I don't really think ace is that necessary to be used on a map like Coastline. Although, yes, if the defenders are deciding to go for a site on second floor penthouse, yes, maybe they could be able to use those Selma breaches to open up, which connects from the VIP lounge to
Hey,
the
honestly,
penthouse.
Baba,
But
I'd like to
yeah.
differ to what you just happened to say,
Hmm.
because you bring out Ace. I think you are happening to live, just eliminate so many anchor points that the other hard breaches offer. Because not only does Ace have an amazing gun, but his Selma breaches, if you use them, you use them. All right, that's all great and stuff. But you have the smokes, you have the gun of the Ace that is too
The
amazing.
AK-12.
So obviously, you could bring out the ace on a map like Coastline, but like you said, Baba, I'll have to agree with you on some point as well that the utility is a little bit of a waste. Could have traded it in for maybe a gridlock, but hey, most definitely, I'd love to take a deeper look into it as we'll be going into reliving the moment very soon as I quickly get that confirmation. And but right now, as we still talk about what just transpired, 7-0, not something I expected, at least not when it came to Division 2, irrespective of what TN at Valence were performing or irrespective of Love Bomb was bringing on table. It's just the fact that 7-0 is more than just a statement. You've got to reconsider so much more because you happen to be on Division 2. That's a high level of play. You are already better than more than 75% of the teams that already exist. Making it to this division is a huge feat in it already. And getting beaten 0-7, just not what I was expecting. Well, that being said, we'll be going quickly into reliving the moment, and Baba will be breaking down these rounds for us and telling us what went down in the entirety of this match.
Well, Foxy, yes, we are not quite a lot to be actually talking about on the side of Team Love Bomb. Although I do have to appreciate how well that they were coordinating on the early rounds. Yes, they did had we actually didn't get to see quite a lot of man counts being decreased. It was always on those mid round and late round matches on the on map coastline. And on the side of defense, especially TR and Valence, we didn't actually see them going way too aggressive, like for an example, a spawn peak or a run out. They were just holding some specific angles, holding those important locations in which the attacker don't have access from. That would be on VIP launch as well as on second floor penthouse, in which the attackers have the opportunity to make those, use those soft lead potentials to hold on lines of sight right from below to get those obstacles from the defenders. And looks like they actually did get it out. They actually had it quite a good control, especially with the Mira, as we're going to see, as we are actually seeing this wonderful clip of Mira thinking of waiting for the smoke to dissipate. She decides to go way too aggressive, eliminating the Ash as well as the Thatcher, and also the one who were apparently going for the plant, Mira the triple kill that she needed. And it was quite unexpected to see a Mira being that aggressive, because most of the time, a specific operator who is a 3 armor 1 speed operator is not actually good when it comes to being aggressive. But he actually does it, like he actually shows like it's that easy to even perform it. So coming back to the operators pick that XM1 picked up, Ace, yes, actually did talk quite a bit about it. But if you want me to be the devil's advocate, I actually do think that Ace's Selma pieces can be used to take out the deployable shields of the defenders, in which yes, it can be, you could use it, because the Vomai is banned and Jaeger's ADSs have no effect of Ace's Selma piece charges. So yes, you will be able to take out the deployable shields. But yeah, we actually didn't get to see that much, because most of the time we actually did see XM1 going for that more of focusing more on gun plays and using smoke grenades rather than using this utility to its full potential. Now here and Aliens, I have absolutely no doubts about it. Their aggression, their coordination, and also those crossfire angles being placed it's been amazing. It's been spectacular to see how well those immediate trade comes in each and every time when a player goes down. They always have, the player like Salim Shady, who's playing as the Jaeger. Sometimes you do see him playing as the Vigil, getting those important kills as the roamer, being the top fragger for his team. And Pierre Valence just absolutely dominated against Team Love Bomb, 7-0, a flawless victory against them. And just like Foxy said, a statement to show that we are going to be the best on Division 2, and we will make sure that they will make sure that they will stay in that particular division as long as possible.
That is so true, Baba Gusta. They want that promotion so bad to Division 1. They want to fight with the big boys up there. 7-0, such a huge point difference as well. That's amazing, man. Getting to see a match at this level, there's spectacular stuff. Look at that Archangel, my man, popping off. That Mira play was just amazing. It's good stuff, man. This is stuff we live for. This is stuff we cast for. 7-0 coming into Division 2 day 1. Not what I was expected, but I'm not even disappointed. That being said, just some quick rundown to what just happened, in fact. And we do see that the way the pacing of both these teams were. Here and Aliens, after a little while, they got a hang of how we're going to see Love Bomb play. They went a little, I would say, they got a little irresponsible with the way they were playing. They got a little too comfortable in terms of how they wanted to approach that, and I wouldn't really blame them. Just the way you happen to play, you find a weakness, you want to exploit it, because that's where you'll be able to turn it into something useful, into something victorious. That being said, I'm going to see that quick look of the last round we just got to witness before the match happened to end. Look at that, Killen already making his way in the Legion, very confused where to peek. Well, Killen made sure he put him out of his misery. Well, that being said, we'll be coming back to our face, I believe, is any moment now. There we go. Hey there, what's up? We're back. That's right. It's Baba Gusta and almost Blackjack, because that's what Baba Gusta happened to call me. Hey, that was a joke. I happened to call you Blackjack as well for a moment, but it's just love for the man. We both love Blackjack. I'm sure everybody else in the chat out there has the same thoughts as well. But right now is a shining moment for Tian and Valiance, and I congratulate them on the 7-0 victory. Let's see what more we have for us as I quickly will be conferring with the host on when will be happening to go into that quick highlight section of the BRB for you guys to enjoy while we set up the next match for you. The next match coming up is going to be Allegiance versus Team Mercenaries, people. I don't need to give you an introduction on that. And that's right, I'm Foxtrot, and joining me is Baba Gusta, and we are signing off for just a short break because we'll be back with an amazing match for you guys to witness. Just sit back, relax, grab some popcorn. We'll be back in just a bit.
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WD BLACK Esports Club Pro League for Rainbow Six Siege, supported by Ubisoft and in association with ACT Fibernet and AFK Gaming. I am your host, Blackjack, and joining me is my co-host, Baba Gusta, as we are here for the second game of the night, and a beautiful game it is going to be, as we are going to have Mercenaries versus Allegiance on the map of Villa. We are seeing Mercenaries back on stream after a solid while, ladies and gentlemen, and Allegiance, a team that I personally have absolutely zero intel on, so I'm very interested to see how this team plays, seeing as they have qualified straight to Division 2 after the qualifier phase. A fantastic game lies ahead of us, and it's always a pleasure to cast alongside Baba Gusta. Baba, how do you do this evening?
Absolutely fantastic, Jack, and hopefully I won't be able to confuse you with Foxy again. So, without further ado, let's just jump right into it with the ban phase. I mean, did I just... Alright, never mind. Alright. Okay, I just, I hurt myself in its confusion, so hopefully I won't be able to do that yet again. Ban phase. On the side of the attackers, we're going to be seeing Thatcher and Jackal being banned. And on the side of defense, the first ban coming in would be a Vamai on map Villa. Now, I mean, it's not a big surprise. Vamai has been in the standard ban on particular matchups in quite a few matches, I believe. Even we actually did see quite a lot of Vamai bans being placed in Division 1. And there's not even a surprise on Division 2 as well. As we're going to be seeing the last ban phase, it is going to be the Mira. Quite... I wouldn't say surprising, but it is the standard ban, and we are actually going to roll with it. Thatcher, Jackal, Vamai, and Mira won't be in play in map Mira, which gives a lot of opportunities. Yes, Mira won't be in play in the ban phase. So yep, round 1 will be in play, and second for AVG is going to be the site.
Speaking of which, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a quick look at both of the teams that are here in the lobby for us today. From the side of Allegiance, we've got Buckshot, Arrow, Big Base, Buttress, and Milacron. I believe that's how it's pronounced anyway. While from the side of Mercenaries, of course, the lineup almost needs no introduction, but we'll go through it anyway. Fatar, Hasib, Taha, Doctor, and Maker. And just like Baba said, we're headed to second floor Aviator Games Room right from the right off the bat, from the side of Mercs, who are on the defense. Of course, with the Warden in play from Fatar, I'm very interested to see how Allegiance goes about countering this. They would have seen it in the 6-pick phase, in the reveal phase, excuse me. And sure, while Allegiance might be thinking that the Warden will be the one to get 6-picked out, seeing as Pulse is played quite often when it comes to all the sites of Villa, now that I think about it, Mercs, in an interesting turn of events, have not 6-picked out the Warden. They have 6-picked out Pulse for Clash. That means the hold that they're going to be employing is much more horizontal than it would have been otherwise. However, with the use of the SAS shotgun from Fatar, he will, establish some verticality for his team, but not too much. Not the level of a Pulse that Mercenaries will be missing, but who knows, maybe they've got exact plans for this. Doctor with a bullet hole spawn peak, not going to find anybody just yet. Maker, however, curiously enough, is a little low on HP. May have been a team mishap right there. A rogue impact grenade, or maybe a shot from Taha, who was trying to open up those rotates. Fatar, interestingly enough, is... he's got the MPX, excuse me. I mistakenly called as Warden having the shotgun. He has the MPX. It's Taha with the shotgun. I mistook that for a second. Seeing as whenever I play Warden personally, I use the shotgun all the time because the SAS shotgun is just so fun. But aside from that, Maker is actually down below. The Jaeger on a Roman. Oh, Fatar's pre-fire right there. That looked like it was in the vicinity of an attacker from Allegiance, but it's not going to find anybody just yet. No damage done at all. The Clash has been droned out. Hasib, he's going to have to be very careful. There's somebody in Stat Story has seen him as the yellow pings are coming out. And the Mercenaries have to be very aware of the kind of push that Allegiance is making. Coming into Statuary, he's got Doctor for an assist, but those Zofia concussives are coming out. Doctor's managed to stay alive so far, but no, Milacron will start things out by taking down Taha. The smoke drops, and that's a big one early for the side of Allegiance. 4 versus 5 with a minute 30 remaining. Allegiance is looking rather strong right now, but there's down for Thar that has been downed as well. And a run out from Jaeger. Where is he going? Maker, he's going to be taken down. And Asiv has been down as well. Suddenly, Doctor is the last one standing. Kaid inside his sight. Fatar will be revived, however, putting him back up to 20 HP. He can take gunfights, but he's got to be very careful on what kind of gunfights he decides to pick. And he's got a bulletproof shield, not even a C4. That, of course, is the Kaid's play, but he's used up his C4. As the grenade's going to come out from Arrow. There we go. No, the shot comes in instead. And how did Ace survive that? He did not. It was Buttress who went down from Arrow's grenade drop. That was unfortunate, but Buckshot's going to find Fatar in the meanwhile. And there's the Kaid doing a bit of damage, getting another kill. This is getting big right now. Doctor, he might just be able to clutch this. Will you see the Zofia pushing through the smoke right now? No, he's been two-sided. One from the rotate entry of Aviator and one from the entry of Games. I got to get a little confused myself right there, as we see in the Act 5 minute instant replay, Doctor making some plays for his team. Unfortunately, was not able, to hold it down for his team. The Kaid got a lot of shots in. Unfortunately, at the end, it wasn't enough, and looks like the side of Allegiance is going to have a rehost, as Buttress has left the game, curiously. Probably a disconnect, and we're going to be coming back to Caster Cam, ladies and gentlemen, as unfortunately the second round, which may or may not have been on Aviator Games Room, of course, is going to be a little bit more delayed. We do apologize for this, as of course the game had a delay in startup, and now, you know, there's a rehost being called as well. But it was a very interesting first round coming out from Mercenaries, as I didn't quite expect them to be going that far out of their way to try and find the attackers in those positions that they did, particularly Maker, right? Jaeger running out of the main door, down the main, like just by the main stairs. I'm not sure what he was thinking. He seemed to be just running while reloading or something to that effect. I didn't quite catch it. And he was, of course, caught off by the IQ. Again, not sure what happened right there from Maker. Not sure what happened right there from Mercenaries. But who knows, they might be able to come back from this stronger, as their defense just sort of fell apart a little too quickly for their own taste. And speaking of the match, the bans that we had were also, well, they were fairly standard, of course. Thatcher, Jackal, Wamai, and Mira. But at this point, you know, standard bans are to be expected when it comes to most games here in the WD BLACK Esports Club Pro League. Most teams are playing against each other for the first time, seeing as so many new teams and so many roster changes have happened, that, you know, that the knowledge of which team plays what has sort of diminished between teams just over the course of these last few months. But even then, of course, there are still certain players and operators you want to watch out for. So those specific bans, for instance, as we all point to, Tsukishima, Goat, and Blitz is a ban combination that never gets old. But at this point, for him, you might as well ban Bandit, because he really loves that MP7. But coming back to the point at hand, fairly standard bans, but I'm very interested to see Wamai's ban rate actually rising as of recently. And again, this was a conversation I was having with Foxy just yesterday. Wamai's ban rate rising like that makes sense, you know, because while Jaeger has the barbed wire and ADSs, the advantage he has over Wamai is that he can just put them down and then go off his merry way, right? He can just go off roam, he can spawn, he can do whatever, especially if the Jaeger player is used to the spots that they are, that they always put those ADSs and utilities down on. Wamai, on the other hand, the thing that really ties him down to being more of a site lurker / anchor is that his magnets, they generate over time, similar to Legion, right? So he has to sit in a spot, and he can hold it down very well. He has the guns to do that. The MP5K and the MP5K and the AUG on defense, IQ's AUG, not even a modified AUG like Kaid has. It's the AUG that we've had in the game for so long. Well, Mai has that in his hands, of course. Two very powerful guns, the Rhino secondary and a deployable shield. He's a very strong operator in his own right. However, as we all know, sometimes you want that Jaeger's advantage of being able to just move out. However, Wamai doesn't have that, even though he gets played a lot, and now we're getting to see him be banned a lot. And that might just be because players are trying to combat the meta using the ban phase, you know. reducing the number of utility denials that defenders can bring out by taking out the Womai. That's a deployable shield and 5 magnets taken out, mind you. That's a lot of utility denial that the defenders no longer have access to. So the Womai ban is going to pick up steam, I believe. But the match is about to pick up steam, ladies and gentlemen, as we are back with the lobby right here. Allegiance versus Mercenaries is back on your screens. Allegiance are attacking, Mercs are defending, and round 1 went the way of Allegiance, surprisingly enough. They took the first round very, very well. Unfortunately for Mercenaries, their first round left a lot to be desired, but I'll leave that to Baba Gusta to take us forward in this match. Baba, take it away.
Well, it was a close match for Mercenaries, especially I believe it was Fatar who was playing as the Kaid, holding all by himself on those two particular sides, but he was too late to see exactly where the attackers' positions were in. But hopefully on round 2, they can be able to make amends, making sure that they won't be able to make the same mistake twice. So, talking about Team Mercenaries, it is quite interesting to see that MI7 and Ninja Freak won't be in play. And instead, we are going to be seeing Taha and Fatar and Doctor being in play. So, with a different amount of rosters being used on the side of Team Mercenaries, it is I am quite curious to see how well Team Mercenaries is going to hold out against Team Allegiance. Although we have I have absolutely zero idea on how Allegiance works as a team, although we actually did see on round 1 on how well that they've coordinated their attack. But after the first half where Allegiance goes on defense, we'll actually get to see how well that their defense coordinates works out for them too. So with that, action phase will be in play, and we're going to be seeing Fatar playing as the Goyo. He'll be playing one of his Vulcan shield near the main stairs which connects to the reading room. So hopefully to make sure that you have those two angles being placed, one from the aviator room and the second from the reading room, to hold those specific angles from the reading room. I mean, that is quite a lot of rooms, but hey, that is that's basically how Villa works. You have short rooms that for the attackers they really need to be careful for those flanks, especially the roamers, in which Maker is apparently playing as the Jaeger. And even as Jack pointed out, he is more of like a semi lurker slash anchor to most of. I mean, the reason why it is because he is a 2 armor 2 speed operator, and Jaeger, he is still viable when it comes to roaming capabilities, but he is also quite expert when it comes to holding those specific angles, being as the anchor and getting those clutch possibilities as best as possible. Buckshot playing also very close on the trophy room, as he's already inside the building but not in the site just yet. He still needs to drone it out, find exactly what kind of position there is, as one of the drones will be able to detect where Fatar's location is right from the 90s hallway. So he really needs to be careful, and I believe he is going to hold a specific angle and make sure that he doesn't push from either the trophy room or the statuary room. One of the C4 being thrown out, and I believe that will be Fatar expending one of his C4s. Won't be in play just yet. And looks like Nomad will be detected from the default camp, pushing in from the 90s hallway, and Goyo needs to be prepared for it. On the other hand, we're going to be seeing Zofia contesting with the Clash. The shield is quite irritating when it comes to going up against a 1v1 fight against it, but ooh, that is a lot of damage being deployed, and Doctor will be there to confirm it, eliminating Milakron, an important player, because the Zofia with those impact nades won't be in play just for now. Hasib taking a bit of a damage due to the Vulcan shields. Sadly, he has to fall back and hopefully hold a particular angle right from the reading room itself. Reading room, all this or the main stairs. Who knows? As Beatrice playing as the IQ with the AUG, he's only pushing in, as Maker will be there to eliminate Buckshot. But an instant frag comes in with the IQ herself as he eliminates the important player of Mercenaries. That would be Maker. Now, when it comes to the manpower as well as the timing, Mercenaries have indeed found a jackpot, and all they have to do is wait for Team Allegiance to push in so that they can be able to eliminate them one by one. IQ with the scanner detecting exactly where his location is, as Fatar will be there to eliminate Big B.
15 seconds remaining.
The push comes in from Beatrice as she pushes in from the main stairs. Fatar doesn't know exactly where his location is, but that flick will eliminating IQ, and Taha with that final kill as he eliminates Arrow Team Mercenaries with a great defense on round 2. Let's take a look at that in Fibernet instant replay. For a moment there, we actually for a moment there on round one, we actually did see Allegiance asserting dominance towards Mercenaries on round one. But this time, Mercenaries, they've had it under control. 1-1 is the scoreline, equalizing the score as we proceed to round three. Second floor trophy is going to be the site.
Second floor trophy and statue room coming out from the side of Mercenaries, having put their first round on board post rehost. Looks like that little change going from the Warden to Goyo helped them out, helped them hold the site of AVG, and they're gonna bring back the Warden this time around and change out the Clash for the Pulse as we see Doctor bringing in that operator along with the Mozzie. Actually, there's quite a few changes to the operator lineup that they have right here. We've got a Mozzie, we've got a Pulse, and a Warden, which are the big differences from the last round. I'm still fairly curious on the use of Warden right there, seeing as he is a very situational operator, to say the least. And Fatar bringing him out, and the SMG-12 in hand as well. So, you know, some interesting decisions being made from the side of Mercenaries with this extended hold that they are trying to make on the closet area, using the bathroom as a little bit of a transit spot, of course. And yeah, I'm just, you know, I'm trying to figure this out as we go along. We'll probably find out exactly where the Warden will be coming into use for the side of Mercenaries. Maybe holding down that closet area will be actually useful for Warden, seeing as that is a very high traffic spot between attackers and defenders. Lots of utilities fly in that particular region, and given that smokes are being played, big base right there with the ace bringing in the smokes, and flashbangs most likely from Beatrice the Nomad, Warden might find himself using those smart glasses of his on a couple of occasions. But no, here's a big one. Haseeb starting things off strong by eliminating Beatrice. That is the Nomad whom I was just talking about, off the board early for the side of Allegiance. They have lost a big operator, because that's a lot of flank coverage and a lot of map control that they can no longer establish because of the lack of the Nomad. Meanwhile, we've got some shots fired towards Doctor. He's low on HP. However, Maker is here for cover. Of course, he knows that there's somebody outside of that red carpet hallway window. But he can't do much about that, seeing as, of course, the attacker is outside the building. He can't exactly go for a big run out right there, seeing as if he does, he'll be probably most likely taken care of. Fatar is going to take another one. That's buckshot off the board. The Maverick goes down. And that is the MPX of the Warden, lighting things up for the side of Allegiance. Unfortunately, that's a little too hot to handle for them, as they've lost two very important operators. And now all that's left is a Big Base, Arrow, and Melacron. But no, another one will go down. That's Big Base. The MPX comes out again from the Warden, who is making things happen right now. Arrow, he's trying to find one, but no, Maker's going to find Melacron instead. And Arrow's now the last one remaining. Survives a C4, but how much longer? Oh, what a shot onto Haseeb's head as he takes one, but it's now a 1v4. And another C4 comes out that he will survive, as he's made his way into Games Room on the other side of the map. 55 seconds remain as Maker is now on the hunt. He's got intel from Doctor down below, and he will make full use of that as Arrow will fall. The sledge will not survive for longer, and that is the drop coming in from the side of Mercenaries. Allegiance, unfortunately, not able to make a push on round 3, will fall, and Mercenaries will take the early game lead 2-1 on round 4.
Well, round 4 is in play, and looks like Team Mercenaries is in the lead at 2-1. As we proceed to round 4, first floor dining room is going to be the site. And oh boy, I'm really excited to see what kind of plays this Allegiance has, because, you know, for the past 2 rounds, round 2 and round 3, Team Mercenaries have been, you know, holding their ground quite strongly. But Allegiance, they need to figure this out. They have to figure their strategies out with the, you know, we won't be able to see a clash being picked out on the first floor dining room. Most of the time we'd see Mercenaries picking clash on the second floor EVG room, which in fact proves to be quite efficient. But with the site being on first floor dining, and also the highest possibility where the attackers might have a chance to win this site out, unless and of course on the dying 30 seconds of the round where Team Mercenaries figures something out with an incredible C4 plays, or maybe some great coordination and gun plays being distributed. we'll see what's going to happen as prep phase is still in. They're still prepping. They're just reinforcing the walls, making sure that none of the
10
wall
seconds
banks
left.
will be in play, and also the utilities, of course. And quite surprising, we're going to be seeing Maker playing as the Vigil, and he's going to be doing his roam duty. Thanks to his gadget, he can be able to conceal his location whenever there is an attacker gadget, an attacker's drone will be there to find out exactly what kind of positions that they're in. And with that, action phase will be in play. Milacron, we've actually did see some quite great plays on round one, but unfortunately, he's been getting early picked out for the past 2 rounds. But hopefully, with the with a lot of focus, keeping that in mind for Team Allegiance, hopefully they might be able to find one. As Mercenaries, especially Maker, he's going to be holding out on the specific locations in which the attackers try to push in from. As Milacron will be in the roof, maybe holding an angle in the sanctuary room. There is quite an interesting angle which should connect right from the roof to the sanctuary room, in which you can be able to take out any ADSs being placed. But this time, the site being on first floor dining room, they need to get control on the master bedroom so that they could do their work. Quite interesting. We're going to be seeing Taha with the M59 shotgun having zero ammo, in which Taha has to, you know, he just needs to put faith with his SMG-11, knowing for the fact that he doesn't have any bullets with his shotgun. It's going to be quite. It will be very difficult for Taha to win in a gunfight, especially there is a 2 players focusing on. As I was talking about it, a lot of gunfights and a lot of chaos being used, but looks like on the manpower, Allegiance has the upper hand with Taha and Fatar being eliminated. Team Allegiance have an opportunity here. Hasib holding the angle right from above, hoping sure that they will be able to take out any soft creatures like the Sledge or the Zofia, in which they are making a lot of problems for the defenders to worry about. And with the Zofia holding the angle to make sure that they can be able to eliminate one of the important operators. But quite surprising, we are not going to see any operator pushing in from the laundry room. That's exactly where the execution phase comes in. And with only 1 minute remaining for the attackers, it's interesting to see what kind of push that the attackers is going to push in from. Maybe they might push in from the astronomy stairs, push in from the main entrance. Who knows? But we'll see. We'll see what kind of plays that Allegiance has here. Futurist, yep. As I was talking about it, they will, however, continue their execution by pushing in from laundry room. But with Doctor playing in the hallways of astronomy, maybe he might be able to salvage this one out. Maybe an important 1 or 2 kills, as Milacron sees the exact location on where Jaeger is, uses the impact nade to open up lines of sight to at least eliminate him. But unfortunately, that line of sight won't be able to give any intel. But Doctor will be able to eliminate the entire effort that Zofia was doing. Meanwhile, Ace will be there to use the Selma breaches to open up the laundry walls with Futurist already inside the site. A smoke being used, and Big B going for the plant, and all they have to do is neglect the plant, but that push comes in from Hasib, eliminating the planter, and just like that, Hasib, with that wonderful play, Mercenaries is going to win round 4 on first floor dining room. Let's take a look at that in action at Fibernet's instant replay. My god, Team Mercenaries, they are not stopping this one out either. As we proceed to round 5, second floor ABG is going to be the site, and they did, however, picked quite a lot of early frags, eliminating Taha, who was apparently playing as the smoke. He didn't have that much of shotgun ammos left. He only had SMG-11 and 3 of those smoke canisters. Even though Allegiance had that early kill, Mercenaries somehow managed to salvage it out in a 4v5 situation. What an impressive place coming in from them. We did actually see that execution from Big B, opening up the laundry wall
Defenders,
at
protect your
around
bombs
20
from being
seconds
defused
left,
by attackers.
which in fact could have been way much more quicker, as I was about to say it. It would have been better if they did that execution at around like a 30-second, or maybe at the maybe around at a 40-second mark, because they can be able to push in properly and get those important kills, but they were too late.
Bomb
So
located by attackers.
with that keeping in mind, Jack, what do you think is going to happen here with Mercenaries 2 points in lead against Allegiance? Will Allegiance make a comeback, or will Mercenaries keep on doing what they do?
Given that Allegiance has been able to
10
push
seconds
back
left before
Mercenaries
insertion.
to an extent in the earlier, in the early bits of the round, if they are, of course, able to continue that momentum of dropping bodies and not get refragged instantly from Mercs, they will be able to take rounds. That is what they did successfully. Oh, but no Doctor! He's gonna go up with a spawn peak early, and Malakron will drop. That is a Sophia. That is huge right there. Allegiance, very, very unfortunate for them. They needed to be careful of that spawn peak, and turns out Malakron was found wanting, as he will fall early, and now it's a 4 versus 5. As the Mercenaries have put the pressure on. Just as I was saying, Allegiance, they were able to put the pressure on Mercs early, but they weren't able to do that this round. Doctor just said, all right, you know what? They've put the pressure on us early a couple times. I'm going to go out on a run. Thank you very much. Takes a kill, and it falls back successfully. No damage done to him either, so that was a very successful spawn peak from Doctor, as Mercenaries will be looking to take full advantage of that. And something that, another thing that the side of Allegiance has to do is they really need to give themselves cover using each other, you know, operators sticking together, especially right towards the end. You know, last round, going for that plant was a smart idea in the midst of the smoke. Sure, the summer breaches could have happened earlier, but oh, gunfights are happening in the meanwhile, as Butrus is going to find one. That is Hasib off the board, but the IQ is slightly low on HP here still, and he's got to be careful of that, as Maker is still sitting behind the shield. There's an ad, buckshot all the way, but no, he will go down. Beautiful shot from Maker, as the Jaeger is going to take a body, and so many bodies being dropped right now. The Kite trying to find one more for himself, but no, Doctor will not be able to. The IQ down below is a little too wily for him right now, as Arrow will take a bit of damage. Curiously enough, that might have been from the Vector, and the IQ manages to barely get away from Doctor's watch. Fathar somehow makes a white peak on the stairs and is not taken out, as Buttress is trying to, you know, get these shots in, but he's missing a whole lot of them. That's really unfortunate for Allegiance. They need to tighten up their sprays right now. They need to tighten up their intel gathering, but no, Buttress will go down, and Doctor gets a double kill for himself. Fathar is now going to push down below to make a C4 play, as Arrow's going to find one. That's Maker of the board, and that's also a pretty big kill. The Jaeger goes down, but it's a 2v3, and we're in a similar situation to what we were in the last round, only this time it's only Arrow to cover for the planter. But no, there's a C4 from below. Not below, that's Doctor from out of sight, who's going to take a lot of damage. Big Base takes him off the board, but the Ace is pushed in, and the Vector will find him. Fathar makes sure that the Ace does not go anywhere farther than that. As we see in the Act, Fibernet instant replay right here, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunate for Allegiance, but they are not getting their intel in. They're not doing the necessary things right here, taking out all of the utilities, using their throwables, you know, in the perfect way that they should, using their drones to find where these defenders are sitting, and they're sort of going for head-on, one-on-one gunfights, and they're not winning against Mercenaries. And in this situation, there's really not a high chance of them winning those gunfights, given Mercenaries' track record when it comes to those same gunfights. So the best thing that they can do, Allegiance right now on the attack, is they can try to outplay them using utility, using some strategy, some really good coordination. You really need coordination when it comes to fighting against Mercs, and that will hopefully allow them to win another round. They did very well on round 1 to beat Mercenaries on second floor AVG. Sure, Mercenaries made some rather unfortunate mistakes, but even then, Allegiance was able to take advantage of that and coordinate their way to a victory. After that, they haven't done that even once so far as I've been able to tell, which is really unfortunate for them. And Mercenaries have been just punishing them for each and every mistake that they've made so far. And Mercenaries have been getting away with quite a few mistakes themselves. Sure, Maker was dropped early, and you know there were a couple of bodies being dropped by Allegiance every single round. They've done that every round. However, it hasn't worked. They haven't been able to hold that man advantage. They haven't been able to hold on to their body count, and they've just been losing it very, very early against Mercenaries. They're going to have to look to try and improve on these things as they go, and even if this match does not go in their favor, they have this VOD to come back, look back on, and to try and improve from seeing where they went wrong. as we've got flashbangs coming in to burn out the ADS here inside of the closet. But there's two ADSs, and there's Fathar himself waiting with the Warden, as flashbangs are pretty much useless on him. But there's the Zophia's concussive nades, which will be very effective against Warden right here. Another one goes in, but still no push. Malakran has used up a lot of those lifelines, and a grenade will do so much damage, but Fatar is allowed to get away with it and push out to master bedroom, as the Jaeger will drop Maker. Didn't need to make that peek. Buttress will make sure of that, as Fatar is now in a very precarious peak, and he will be punished for it. There we go. That's Allegiance punishing Mercenaries for their mistakes right here. Well done to find 2, but now they need to find 3 more, and Buckshot will start that off by finding Hasib, putting it down to a 2v5. Zofia pushes into bathroom, trying to find the Taha right now, but no shots of fire. The UMP is actually going to find one body, and that's the down on Malakran, but he is Zofia, of course, and he can pick himself back up into 5 HP, and he will do just that as the castle will drop, and now it's a 1v5, all down to Taha. The smoke inside of sight, and Buckshot will take that head as well. A flawless round comes out from the side of Allegiance on round 6. Finally, after so long, they were able to put a round on board for themselves and give themselves a better position going into round 7 roll swap, as the scoreline is 2-4 going into round 7.
Well played from Team Allegiance, eliminating 2 of the important players who were currently being situated from the master bedroom as well as on the closet, in which most of the time you'd see either a Vumai or a Ella being played with the F412 shotgun, because, since Jack pointed it out, it has the most highest traffic, aka choke points, for the attackers, so that they can be able to get into the site, get into the building, open up the walls which connects from the master bedroom to the statuary room, and then get in, go for the plant. But that's taking a warden, I wouldn't say it as a bad choice of picking the operator. Yes, most of the time you'd see the attackers throwing up flashbangs to exhaust the ADSs, making sure the last flashbang will be able to flash the operator, and that's where Warden comes into play. His gadget will be able to deny any flashes coming in from him to get those perfect kills. But unfortunately, it did not quite work out well with that great grenade being used from Sledge, as not only he did take out the deployable shield, but also reduced Warden's HP to around 2 HP, which forced him to reposition himself in quite a weird position, in which the attackers had the opportunity to eliminate those 2 operators. Well played from Allegiance, but let's see how well that they're going to be on defense on second floor AVG, with Team Mercenaries on attack. Doctor, who is apparently playing as the Zofia, will be repelling in from the astronomy window with thanks to her drone, making sure that there isn't any opponents on the side of defense holding the angle and getting the drop off them. As we're going to be seeing Big B, who is apparently playing as the castle. I think he's going to be playing near the astronomy room. Yes, he is. Will be able to detect a drone, but still needs to be careful, because there is 2 angles that he needs to worry about. One is in the astronomy window, and the second which is on, I believe, the bathroom window. And looks like Hasib, he will be able to find him, eliminating the castle, gaining the control on astronomy. And with that, the only problem they have to deal with is getting the control on the statuary, in which quite a lot of utilities being placed, including the castle's armor panel and the mute jammers, to make sure that not that breach charge won't be in play. But Doctor, he sees the lag but won't be able to get the connect, not even reducing a similar amount of HP as Doctor. He's going to humiliate a total of 11 times to open it up. And as on the other side, Buckshot with an incredible shotgun is going to eliminate Maker. Already 1 player down, and the score, I wouldn't say the score, the man count is equalized on both the teams. It's going to be a matter of moment where who's going to go down first. Buckshot is already in a difficult position, but never mind. He actually gets the shot as he eliminates Doctor. A lot of pings being shown on exactly where Doctor's positioning is in, with the Fatar with an incredible angle that he's holding on to, as he will be there to get the confirmation, eliminating Buckshot. But They did, however, lose a lot of time, and the attackers, they only have 1 minute left. And with the score count, I mean, the man count still equalized, they still need to find 3 more, which is currently in the side, and a lot of utilities that they still need to worry about with the smokes, gas canisters, the Goyo's Vulcan shield, and of course the Jaeger, who will hold a specific angle to eliminate the operators when the attackers try to go for the executor. 35 seconds left as we hear one of the smoke gas canisters being thrown out, and Hibana, she is currently having a lot of problems dealing with that X-Kairos pellets because there is a mute jammer presence which is not letting Hibana open up the walls of AVG, giving Melakron the opportunity to hold the angle, and hopefully he will be able to eliminate Hasib as best as he can, or will Hasib will be able to get the drop off, and talking about it, he will get the drop off, getting the triple kill as Fatar will be there for the cover, eliminating huge treasure, and it's all down to Arrow with those smoke canisters and the SMG-11. It won't be in play. Taha with an incredible cover and a huge play from Hasib as he eliminates 3 players of Allegiance as he get their win. Let's take a look at that in Fabrinet's instant replay. Wow, that was quite unexpected, and also huge appreciation to Buckshot as he eliminates 2 of the players with the shotgun, making sure that he would be there to waste a lot of time for the attackers, in which he evidently did, but it wasn't quite much with with Fatar, I believe. No, it was Hasib was playing as the Nomad, getting those 3 important kills, gave them the opportunity to plant on the default site, giving them the win that they need on attack as we proceed to round 8. Second floor ABG is going to be the site yet again.
One thing I would like to point out about that last round that we just had is the fact that Buckshot sitting on landing, the statutory entry door, behind what once was a castle barricade with a shotgun and his wits about him, was able to take down 2 attackers from the side of Mercenaries. Let that serve as a reminder that you do not underestimate the SAS shotgun in close quarters. Even in some medium range gunfights, that shotgun can somehow pull off very, very good shots, and that's why you want to be very careful approaching a mute, especially in that position, because he was actually protected from the Fox window and from the 90 hallway window that we saw the IQ repelling on, which was a very good position for Buckshot to play, and he was just dancing around in that area, took so much damage, but he was completely undeterred from his hold, and that is why he was able to get 2 very vital kills. Unfortunately, the rest of his team couldn't quite live up to that, especially right towards the end, where once again they fell short of pushing together, just like they did in round 5. The point I was trying to make a couple of rounds ago is that when Allegiance is backed into a corner like that, they need to push together instead of one by one. Early rounds are fine, honestly. They're doing very good in the early rounds, but it's their late round that needs a lot of work. We'll see if they're able to fix that going forward into this round, as the Vulcan shield will be popped by the attackers, and Buckshot's going to fall down on to first floor. So will Buttress, but there's shots fired from the Zofia, who knows exactly where they are from the looks of things, and that is Doctor going on a bit of a hunt, and he will find one. Buckshot falls. That's a big one right there, as the mute with the shotgun is no longer in play, and then there's the Goyo, who does a bit of damage back to Doctor, but not enough to kill him. And that is unfortunate, because Allegiance will want Doctor dead for the rest of this round. Doctor, given the right situation, Doctor can be very deadly for any team opposing Mercenaries, and Allegiance knows this all too well, as they are trying to make sure that they get him out as soon as possible. However, rejoining all of his friends out towards the side of Astronomy means that Doctor is currently safe, and with the rest of the attackers, he doesn't have to worry about being taken out early or, in an unfortunate situation, as Buttress himself is still down below, mind. It looks like he's trying to go for that C4 play on default plant spot, and he might be able to do that soon, as with the minute 5 remaining and the push into side coming in from the side of Mercenaries, they might go for the plant on default with cover horizontally, but maybe not vertically. Doctor's going to fall back down below, as he knows that the goal is still downstairs, opening up a wall in piano. Has shot the fire, but Buttress is going to find Taha instead, and that's a big drop. The ace goes down, and that was completely unrequited. required, even though summer breaches are going off. That's a line of sight that the attackers could have used, but Buttress will fall. Maker make sure of that, and it's all down to this 4v3 in the last 35 seconds of the round, ladies and gentlemen. This will go either way because it's going to be a late round chaos battle between both teams as the UMP lights up and a Seep will drop, making it a 3 versus 3 with the gas canister, making sure that the diffuser is unrecoverable. Doctor's going to have to push in, and he's trying to do exactly that, but the castle is deterring him, and he will go down. Could not recover the diffuser in time. It's a 3v2, and with less than 12 seconds remaining, it might even be a 1v2. Maker's been down. It's all down to Fatar, who needs to make a play happen. He'll find one as Maker will fall. But Big Base and Malatra know this. They're just hiding, and Big Base will take the kill. Fatar drops, and Allegiance takes round 8, ladies and gentlemen. Second floor Aviator goes to them, and just as I was saying, just as we will see in the Act 500 instant replay, their late rounds needed work, and they put in that work, coordinating their way to a round victory that they really needed to give themselves a chance of equalizing, a better chance of equalizing, as it is now 5-3, still in favor of Mercs, who are 1 round away from match point. But the side of Allegiance have taken a round, which is huge right now for them. That 1 round could cascade into many, as we'll find out here on round 9.
Well, 2 more rounds for Team Allegiance to equalize against Mercenaries, and they will do so by defending on first floor dining room. Now, it is going to be a difficult site for the defenders to hold on to, but I have to give kudos to Big Base as he eliminates 3 of the players of Team Mercenaries, making sure that they won't be able to get the control of the site, and neither do they have the opportunity to plant. Although for a moment I thought the Goyo will be there to eliminated from none other than Taha, who was playing as the ace, but unfortunately didn't quite work out well in their favor. With already an I wouldn't say an early kill, but in the execution phase, eliminating Taha gave the opportunity for Allegiance to clutch it, even with the Selma breaches giving the angle for the defenders. But hey, it actually works out for both defenders as well, eliminating them in the process. And yep, with Allegiance, all they need is 2 rounds so that they could equalize against Mercenaries. And looks like we're going to be seeing 2 of the players of Team Allegiance. That would be Buckshot and Big Base roaming on the side of the astronomy room as well as on the bedroom. Now mind, it wasn't Big Base, it was the Jaeger, that would be Arrow, who's going to be joining with Buckshot to make sure his roaming capabilities will be of top form, and make sure that Team Mercenaries won't be able to get the control in the early minute. Butrus with the pulse will be able to detect exactly where the attacker's location is going to be. That would be on the laundry entrance. And Pulse, he might be able to go for a run out here. There is a possibility, but he doesn't know exactly if there is a Claymore being placed, or I would say a Nomad charges from Hasib. So we'll see what's going to happen, but Buckshot with an incredible patience over there will be there to eliminate Hasib. Already an early kill for Team Allegiance, and for Mercenaries, they don't have much enough of time. Although they have around a minute and 40 seconds left. With that early kill from Team Allegiance, things are not going to be easy for Mercenaries to get control of the site, meaning that they have to focus their attention on eliminating those roamers first, or else on the side of execution, it would be a done deal. Maker in the trophy room with a great angle which connects right from the side, hoping to get an angle and hopefully to eliminate one of the players, as we're going to be seeing Fatar with the shotgun, I wouldn't say the shotgun, the sledgehammer, to make up lines of sight to eliminate the bandit charges, so that the ace will be there to use his Selma breaches to open it up. Doctor, on the other hand, gets his revenge by eliminating Butrus, as the castle will be there to go for the refrag. I believe a Maker is down, and Taha already on low HP. Big Base thinking for going for a run out, but he's just going to fall back just for now. He just needs to play time, and Mercenaries, they only have 40 seconds left here. Sledge still with the angle, as Doctor will get another one, eliminating Buckshot. That shotgun won't be in play. Actually, it wasn't a shotgun. The Legion won't be in play, but Big Base, oh my goodness, he's going to down one, and he's still alive. But Doctor will be there to eliminate another one, getting himself a triple kill. Taha. Hopefully he will be there to be revived. But Doctor holding that angle sees the head of the Jaeger, but he loses the fight against them. The Jaeger shutting down the aggression from the Zofia, which leaves Taha and Fatar with less amount of HP, and they need to eliminate the two players of Arrow and Milacron on Team Allegiance, and they only have 5 seconds left. Ace Selma Breaches still being informed. They don't have any smoke grenade left. They have to go for the gunfight. Sledge goes down, and with that, Ace, with no amount of time, Allegiance will win round 9 on first floor dining room. A well-deserved win, ladies and gentlemen, for Team Allegiance as we proceed to the next round here. All Allegiance needs right now is one more win to equalize against Team Mercenaries. But will Mercenaries, they were this close of getting those important kills, especially Doctor. If he did get the opportunity to eliminate Milacron, then and there itself, it would have been a Mercenaries match. But Jaeger eliminating Doctor, shutting down his killing spree, gave them the opportunity to hold their ground, and they did exactly that. 6-pick coming in from Butress as he changes from the Pulse to the Valkyrie. As we're going to be checking second floor trophy room, will we be able to see Allegiance equalizing against Mercenaries, or will Mercenaries get the win against Allegiance? Well, the mic will be back to you, Jack.
Allegiance is definitely pulling something special right now. They are doing very, very well against this Mercenaries attack, which has, of course, looked a little better. They seem to be a little out of it in certain situations, which is not giving them that advantage. They need to be on their toes at all times, and even if it is the very first match of this season for Mercenaries in Division 2, you don't want to lose the first match, ladies and gentlemen, as winning that first match is a big morale boost that contributes to your victories later on in the season. Mercenaries will know that better than anyone else, having been in Division 1 before and for a long time in the previous league. Being in Division 2 right now is, while it's not a bad thing at all, Division 2, as we all know, the Bloodbath division, where teams from all 3 regions of the league, all 3 divisions, as we like to call them, meet in a fight to the death to see who gets promoted, who gets relegated, and who stays behind. Mercenaries are no strangers to this division, but they need to tighten up their attack a little bit more. Again, on the attack, they are looking a little out of it, a little, uncertain at times, as the Selma Breach is going to go off onto the side of Aviator. Curiously enough, to try and find one of the defenders if Allegiance has a roamer in that area, but they don't. 4 defenders are inside of sight. I'm not sure where the 5th one is, but he's probably lurking down below or, just lurking around sight somewhere close by. Oh no, there we go. Big base. He's looking for a C4 kill right now. He might just go for it, and Fatar will in fact be down, but he's not going to know that, of course, as he will try and come back using the intel that his team is giving him. He's trying to do it, but he won't be able to because there is a Maker down below. As soon as that C4 went off, Maker went on a hunt, and he takes down the Mozzie instead. A big drop comes in for Allegiance as they not only lost the Mozzie, lost the, the Pete and Roni, but they've also lost the C4 and the ability to control any drones caught by Mozzie from this round forward. As Maker's going to take another one. Buckshot goes down. That's another big drop as the castle will no longer be in play. And now Mercenaries are looking strong. They put down 2 defenders, and they're looking to put down the remaining 3 as quickly as possible. But a minute 5 remains for them, and they need to get in there as soon as possible before they can make this execute happen. They need to at least take 1 more defender down and not lose a single body in the process. But Steve, oh dear me, he's already inside of sight and going for the plant as there's cover coming in from the side of the attack. Do they know? They don't. I don't think Allegiance knew that the plan was going off, but what a shot from Maker using the defender's angle against him, and that is another body dropped as Buttress and Milacron are scrambling to try and find these last attackers, but no, one will drop, and it's all down to Milacron, the last man standing. The Jaeger down below, coming up red stairs. Oh, wait, what happened to that air jab? We will never know, of course, as Fatar is there to make up for that. Milacron falls, and Mercenaries take a flawless round on round 10, as we'll see on the Act Fibernet instant replay right there. Second floor trophy goes to the attacking team off the back of an excellent coordinated push coming out from Mercenaries. as they will finally secure match point. They've been sitting on that for 3 rounds now, and they will finally take the match point. But it's not over yet, folks, because it is 6-4 in their favor. That means Mercenaries, while they only need 1 round to win, the side of Allegiance needs 2 rounds to equalize. This is a close game right here, and I'm excited to see what comes up next on round 11.
Well, that was a close call from Maker as he saves his teammate, eliminating Big B, who was playing as the Mozzie with the P10 drone. And even though they did not, however, take out the default cams from the 90 hallway, which gave Mozzie an opportunity to go for the C4, in which he was downed. Even the teammate even called it out, saying that he was down. All he needs to do was go for that pre-fire right through the wall. But Maker was there to the rescue, eliminating Mozzie, and with that. The team Mercenaries having the manpower still intact. They did, however, win it out. But since the site is going to be on second floor AVG, in which Mercenaries did win on round 7, and Allegiance did, however, recovered it back on round 8 with an excellent display of defense being shown from Big Base. He was playing as the castle with the UMP. Pre-firing from that specific angle, making sure that the attackers won't be able to push in right from the landing zone to, go for the plant, in which they did not. Well, for Allegiance, they have to make this count. They need, 2 more rounds to put this match on overtime. And if they do not, well, Mercenaries is going to just steal the map away from them. Arrow with the smoke, he will have a little bit of utilities on his hand, the deployable shield as well as the Aegis ADSs, just to make sure that any of those utilities won't be able to remove those deployable shields. Milacro, I believe, playing as the Jaeger, he is doing his roam duty, playing on the AVG, making sure that if they do, however, push in from the red stairs, that instant trade will be there. And looks like Buckshot, oh no, this is not a good start on the side of Team Allegiance, as Maker has already made his play, eliminating Butrus, and with Buckshot down, it is going to be more difficult for them, as the Jaeger, he's actually going for a contest, but Fatar will be there to get the confirmation, and Maker, he will be there to eliminate one more, as the Jaeger, who was on red stairs, will be able to eliminate one, but that instant trade will immediately come in. Arrow with the SMG-11 knows that the ace is pushing in from the balcony. He needs to make sure that he has to focus on those 2 angles, but no, it's not going to work out. The instant end comes in, as Mercenaries will show no mercy against Team Allegiance, winning 7-4 against Allegiance. Actually, 7-4 against Allegiance on map Villa. As we take a look at that scoreboard, 10 kills to Doctor and 11 kills to, I believe it was Maker, making those plays. What an incredible match that we get to witness against Mercenaries and Allegiance. I do have to appreciate them, because, going up against Team Mercenaries and making that score count around 4 to 6 with an incredible amount of defense as well as offense being shown, I do have to appreciate how well that they've coordinated and how well those teamwork coordinations came in. But unfortunately, with Mercenaries gaining the upper hand, they almost had a chance to making this match to overtime, but Mercenaries denied it. Well played from them, and well played from Team Allegiance.
Absolutely. A fantastic game coming out from both teams right there. Allegiance pulling out a great performance for themselves. Unfortunately, even when Mercenaries looked like they were a little out of it, they looked, it could have been a better game from Mercenaries overall. But Allegiance, despite the mistakes they were making and despite getting punished by Mercenaries over and over, they did not give up. They did not look to, just end the round and finish it off and call it a night. They did not do that, and that is what you expect from a Division 2 team, ladies and gentlemen, because they stuck it out. They gave it their all, and they actually pushed Mercenaries quite a ways. Unfortunately, Mercenaries turned out to be just a little too good in this situation. A 7-4 victory to Mercs, and a beautiful 7-4 victory that we will get to see in the highlights montage of Relive the Moment right here, as it was an absolutely amazing game from both sides. And mind you, that first round coming out from Mercenaries on the defense, that was won by Allegiance, and that was won very, very well indeed. Doctor, the last one remaining as Kai Saeed, he tried to do his best, but unfortunately was not able to, just bring it out for his team, as there's only so much you can do in the midst of all the pre-fires and the smokes and the getting double-sided from the attackers, of course. But after that, Mercenaries were able to win 4 back-to-back rounds from round 2 to round 5. That was huge for them, as we're seeing right now in the Reel of the Moment, of course. And overall, it was actually just really, really good from them. Mercenaries, a dominating performance for those next 4 rounds in the first half of the game. But then you had Allegiance making a potential comeback, by winning round 6. That's, it's not uncommon to see a team that's not performing so well down in a 1-4 situation win on their 6th round going into rounds and road stop, right? We see that a lot, and usually doesn't really go around the other way, shall we say, when it comes to post road stop, right? The team knows in the advantage sort of takes it away. But Allegiance, they did not give up. They still held on for 2 back-to-back rounds, and they held on very, very, very well indeed. As you get to see right here, this is the round that I was talking about, ladies and gentlemen. The plan denial coming out from Valkyrie, that wouldn't have happened had Arrow, the sledge who was above, been down below, potentially on the laundry door, maybe holding down around site, maybe even holding the angle directly above Planter, which should have been a thing. Unfortunately for the side of Allegiance, I'm not sure where Arrow was right towards the end, but he wasn't there to cover for his teammate. And that's really where the round went RI. Sure, one can say that the summer breaches should have come out earlier, and that is true. It should have happened a lot sooner, but even then, they were able to get in and start the plant. That's big from Allegiance in that last-minute scramble right there. Unfortunately, they could not hold on. But then in round 6, they had a flawless round. Huge. Absolutely huge right there. So, a flawless round to win a round back from Mercenaries, who were absolutely dominating so far. Very, very well done from Allegiance. And these rounds and these patches where they really show up against a team like Mercs is a good sign. That means that they're a team that has a huge, huge potential to grow and outshine even the best of the best out here in South Asia, ladies and gentlemen, if they just keep working on it. Wouldn't you agree, Baba?
I mean, I absolutely do agree on that, Jack. And actually, I wanted to talk about that previous matchup where they were defending on second floor ABG. The Mozzie, thanks to that default cam, not even taken out on the 90s hallway, downing Fatar, who was playing as the sledge. All Mozzie had to do was to just go for the pre-fire, in which the teammate did, however, ping the exact location, didn't get the confirmation just yet, and Maker, he knew what was happening. He knew where that C4 came in play, and he made sure that he would be eliminated at all costs. That's how the adaptation comes in from Team Mercenaries. So maybe if Team Allegiance, even though if they were down, if they weren't greedy enough to get those that specific important kill in which Fatar was already being down, maybe it would have been a different scenario here for Team Allegiance. But all in all, a well effort being displayed from Mercenaries, especially on Divisions 2 stages. And so I'm really excited, Jack, because you do have Mercenaries, we have Fibernet Valiants. I mean, who knows? There might be some incredible teams who will actually go against Mercenaries, and I'm really excited to see how it's going to go down.
Absolutely right there, ladies and gentlemen, and well said, Baba. Valiant and Mercenaries being in Div 2, they were Div 1 teams in the last season of the PC League, and here in the previous league, that is, and they are here right now on the Division 2 area. And, they'll be looking to get that promotion right quick, and that is what we hope to see from them as well, as we'll come back to the caster cam in just a quick second. And overall, I'm very excited to see what both teams bring out for us in future. We'll be keeping our eyes on not just, of course, Valiants and Mercenaries, but also on teams like Allegiance, who show their potential to become the best of the best. This is something that CG Sports has always fascinated everyone with, which is the teams just having potential and rising and falling all the time as the game continues to change, as Rainbow Six Esports is a very dynamic scene. We all know this, of course, and I'm going to be looking forward to see where Allegiance goes from here. We're going to be keeping our eye on them. However, we're also going to be keeping an eye on the last game of the night, ladies and gentlemen, and that is Nat versus Samurai Esports, which will be coming up to your screens in just a short moment. The map bans have, of course, been taken care of. Cafe will be the site of the showdown, and Nat are going to be attacking against ESM. A great game coming up on your screens in just a quick moment. Stay tuned. Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WD BLACK the Esports Club League Pro League for Rainbow Six Siege, supported by Ubisoft and in association with AC Fibernet and AFK Gaming. Had to catch myself really quickly right there as I was almost about to say the old intro again. But regardless, it is time for the last match of the night, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen. But it's a big match coming up as Nat will be taking on Samurai Esports. And this is going to be a very, very big game for all of us involved because ESM has had a couple of very interesting roster changes, one of whom is playing here with us tonight. So this should be an absolutely fantastic game on your screens right now. We're in the ban phase of Cafe, Dostoevsky, and ESM are defending, Nat are attacking. And the first ban, just as always, is going to be Thatcher. I feel like Thatcher is, what, like an 80% ban rate so far in the TEC Pro League, which is, of course, you know, a little unfortunate for the man. But at the end of the day, what can you do when Thatcher is just that universally useful and universally, well, not wanted for the side of the defenders? Meanwhile, Montaigne will be banned off the bat from the side of Nat. They don't want to play against the French Shield. And understandably so, he is a bit of a terror for defenders, and a quick decision on the defense means that Nat is going to be banning Wamai. This is another Wamai ban, and a Wamai ban on Cafe, where, again, just like on a lot of maps when it comes to competitive Rainbow Six, Wamai happens to be a very strong operator that we all know it can hold down sites and rooms like nothing. And then Clash will be the last one to be taken off the board from the side of ESM. They want to play Maestro, they want to play Valkyrie, and given the chance, they will ban the Clash. And of course, as we all know, Echo currently is not in a state of play. With all that being said, round one is about to be underway, and let's have a quick look at both of the rosters that we have on play for us today. From the side of Nat, we've got Drish, Roni, Mist, Dizzy, and Haveli. And from the side of ESM, we've got Paktoon Kid, Avim, Mike, Hamza, and Easily. And with that, round...
Well, a quick little bit of a tool throw there, I believe that was. You guys might have had that on the stream as well, but hey. It's just some standard stuff here that we get to see here. But here we're here underway with the match. Nat and Samurai Esports, a match that I waited for to cast personally. And we're here witnessing it already. Mike is in with the setup. Avim will also be making sure he gets everything done well and good. He's running the Melusi as well. Paktoon Kid has dropped the Goyo. While we have Hamza running the Mira. I love the emphasis of Mira coming out from the side of ESM because I was not expecting them to see that, but hey, Mira's gonna stay unbanned, and that means it's gonna get employed from their side. A really good pick. Let's see if that helps them or not. The first side is gonna be on top floor. Very standard stuff. That is gonna be on bottom cocktail. Let's see what Nat has in store to counter the defense that ESM has brought on board for us. We'll be seeing the push happening. The Hibana has already made her way on the top of the rooftop. We don't see, I'm not sure exactly who's going to be employing their recharges to open up everything that is at least on top. But at least it's not going to be huge emphasis in terms of how soft breach goes down. I don't see a Sledge being played. I don't see Ash being played. It's just the Zofia. And it is indeed interesting on how these guys will be getting the hatch open. They'll be using the Hibana pellets. That is bad. That is huge waste of utility already for the side of Nat. They have not thought this through. I'm not sure what they were thinking. It's Cafe. It's standard stuff. You already need an extra hard breacher or extra soft breacher for stuff like this. Getting the hatches open, getting the vertical play done. But right now, it's going to be just the hatches. They do have the AS though to go for these Selma breaches. And that's why they have so much more freedom, I would say, to try and use the Hibana pellets. But hey, look at this drop down. Everybody's just going on for this one. Dizzy already going to find someone. Meanwhile, Ronnie's going to find one. And that will be one of the defenders of the board. He takes the policy C4 goes out, but that is something that Dizzy wants to find though. It's going to be the IQ watching that angle. He knows there's somebody playing there, but not exactly sure if that's the Melusi that he's supposed to be going after. Goes back on his drone. Could be the moment where Avim happens to shine, but no, it's going to be a flank, people, from Avim indeed. Ronnie the Simp is going to take the fall. That is back on, at least back on the equalizer. A 4 versus 4 is re-established with Avim's flank coming in the white garage. Meanwhile, the Goyo taking so much heat. Paktoon Kid trying to make sure that he gets a frag or two. But Avi, meanwhile, he's going to get another one. I'm not sure where that came in from. This is exactly what I was talking about. The IQ was caught off guard, or at least was sent out to try and take Avim out. And right now, it's just going to be him taking him out for the while. 4 versus 3. Make that 2 versus 4 as his bodies are dropping a little too quickly. And Nat is just not able to stand against it. ESM having a field day with Nat, just like we did see in the first match coming up. Goyo gets that frag. Oh boy, Pakhtun kid, that was a great connect coming in from him. It's all on the Haveli Devara, but he is too confused. Cannot fight against this, as we'll be taking a quick look at that first round in the Act 5 minutes instant replay. What do we just get to witness? So much chaos, at least that's how it looked like for the team Nat. But all the while, at least ESM is going to be happy the way the last round happened to fare. 1-0 is indeed the scoreline. We'll be going into round 2. Let's see what ESM holds in store for us as we proceed ahead into this match on Cafe.
Round 1, and a beautiful round 1 coming out from the side of Samurai Esports as they take the early round advantage. However, of course, it's only one round, and Nat can make it back from this fairly easily. However, something that I actually kind of forgot to talk about in lieu of the wine ban that I was talking about earlier, there is the fact that the meta is left in play. And that is, I think, the reason why ESM decided to ban Clash, which is meta. You don't usually get to play meta when it comes to Cafe Dostoevsky, and even when defending teams have the chance to play meta, they sort of ban her instead because they don't want to play against meta when they go on round 7 role swap. That's something they want to avoid. That's something we've seen before, but ESM are not going to be doing that. They know full well the risks of having meta unbanned in Cafe, but they are not going to pass up the opportunity to play that Spanish defender on this round. And that is why, on this match, that is why Hamza is going to be bringing out the original Vector user. That's an interesting set of interesting line of sight that's been made by Hamza as well, speaking of which, with a mirror window facing all the way from through from Freezer into the piano. And of course the line of sight, the upper one makes sense, but then there's one at foot level, which you get to see in a lot of situations, really. And that is being made by the secondary shotgun of the Mira. Oh, Roni, that's unfortunate. He thought he had a Claymore, but turns out the man has breach charges, and that is, these small mistakes really need to be addressed as soon as possible. Last round, they did not have any soft breach to break those hatches, and they did not want to excuse me right there. They did not want to invest in use the Zofia, that is, and her impact grenades to break those hatches. That's why we saw the Hibana's Excalibur pellets be used to break the red stairs hatch, which was, as Foxy said, a gigantic waste of resources. But no, this is going to go down in the meanwhile. Dizzy is very low on HP as well. That's the top floor fight from the looks of things, as one is down. Might be revive soon, but Dizzy, he's the one trying to recover this right now. He unfortunately, fortunately, will be able to make his way through Cigar's shop and get the revive done. But that means both him and Drish are very low on HP, and they are, of course, the soft breach for the side of Nat. They are the two main soft breach operators who have been knocked back ridiculously as Mist is slowly pushing up on the red stairs hallway. Mining room is his for the taking any second now. C4 went out. That was a Vim, and his C4 was heard out, of course. But does he know exactly where Mist is playing? I think he does. He is peeking this exact position, but now Dizzy has been downed, as the Buck will probably be revived as well, back up to 20 HP. But that only leaves the fact that both of them are low, and they could be taken out very, very easily by the Jaeger right here. Haveli's taking some damage as well, and he will finally fall. Mike takes one, as that leaves the side of Nat in a big disadvantage. The ace is down, and there goes another one. Thrish falls, and the Buck takes a refrag onto easily, nice and quickly, but then he falls as well. That's the Vector from the stairs. That's Platoon Kid, low on HP himself, but not afraid to take those gunfights. Mist is trying to find operators from the white stairs area, but there's a Mira with the peek, and he gets taken out. He's the last man standing. Mist, that is, takes out the Valkyrie cam, spotting him, but how much will that accomplish? He's in a 1v3 against very, very hungry ESM defenders, and he could be taken out any second. Our pre-fires are coming at him from the mirror window. Wait on white. Flashbang goes out, but that's not exactly where he needed that to go. His position's been given away, and he will go down as Paktoon Kid takes a double for himself this round. And that is going to be ESM taking the second round on Cafe, as we'll get to see that in a quick moment in the Act 5, but an instant replay. Not looking too good right here, as their early round was fraught with mistakes, and their mid-round, unfortunately, they started losing bodies and couldn't stop until it was a 1v4. With all that being said and done, round 3 is going to be underway on first floor. Kitchen service and kitchen cooking from ESM, who are now 2-0 up on Cafe.
Well, ESM already starting off strong, and a really good 2 rounds coming in from them, and they haven't even gone to kitchen yet. We'll be seeing them go to kitchen now, though, on round 3. This should be fairly easy in terms of how the rest of the rounds went. Despite the fact that Nat is bringing out soft breach, it did not really help them. They're happening to lose so much HP in the early fights that they happen to take, at least the early engagements against Samurai Esports. And the Samurai Esports has just been better at those gunfights. They're able to win them, or at least tag them up quite a bit, that when those crucial moments do happen towards the end of the match, where the push will come in from the attacking team, they have so much advantage. They have the mirror windows always overseeing the entirety of the map. At least not the map, but the hallways. You've got choke points. You've got so many things, and that's why Mira happens to be such a huge game changer if you know how to use it properly. And ESM has been doing exactly that. Look at that, the roam strategy already coming in on the Trade Museum side. This is really good, and Nat definitely should have reconsidered their bans about this, because ESM is exploiting the hell out of the advantage that they have for themselves. That is the Mira. Because now we'll be seeing Hamza hold down with the Valkyrie, the MPX, very destructive on the side of this room. That is the train room. He's got a Mira for himself as well, along with Avim to support. And that means the amount of hard work that the attackers will have to put in to gain control on the top floor alone is going to drain so much from them. And God forbid if they happen to lose a life over there, it's just going to be very devastating. Let's see if that's going to be the case or not as we go ahead into this matchup. Drone works coming in once again, like I talked about. We'll be seeing the Valkyrie and the Melusi hold this down. Avim is actually all the way up top. He won't be helping his friend Hamza, not for the while. Hamza watching this angle, he's just trying to get the drones and whatnot. Just trying to stay alive, honestly. That is what he is supposed to be doing right now. We'll be seeing Avim along with him on the roam, but there's easily as well, and that means that only Mike and Paktoon Kid will be the ones on side. Avim taking some damage, is just gonna fall back on the side, and the side essentially at this point is abandoned. Look at that, nobody except for the mute. Essentially though, easily getting a first frag in. That's gonna be Trish taking the fall, as the push from the attackers will be happening on the side of Prep Room as well. Nomad pushing up, but Dizzy is all the way on top. This is a very spread out attack that I'm getting to see from the side of Nat here. Could be fatal, but unless of course you happen to win those gunfights and get those frags in, it won't be either. It could go the other way around and take advantage of. But far as I know, ESM has some amazing gunners, and you don't want to be peeking them, at least not with overconfidence. The push will be in, look at that. Trying to get the pre-fires in, but that will not be Haveli, not converting anything. In fact, the Silma breach is up to no use, except for the ones he happened to make on the Prep Room wall, as the Mira charge, the Mira window Black Mirror will be taken care of on the train room. Hamza now has to make this into a gunfight and win that as well. But he's got support from easily all the way on the side of the small laundry closet in the hallway. The moment the push will be in, the hallway will be watched, but the Prep Room is still being watched by the Valkyrie. There you go, he goes wide about this, but it's got to be the Zofia winning it. The wall bang does not work either. It's a 4 versus 4 re-established back into play. 40 seconds left, but there comes the refrag right back in. A 3 versus 4, make that, as Mike is going to get that frag onto Ronnie the Simp. I still got the Buck trying to do something here. The C4 goes out, but that's not going to claim anything. Does not even do the damage to Dizzy. But somebody else is going to be doing some damage, and that's going to be a Jaeger. But Dizzy makes sure he gets the down in, and the confirm will be in as well. A 3 versus 3, and the Melusi drops as well. A 3 versus 2, and make that a 2 versus 2, because here's Paktoon Kid with one more, and another one. Make that a 1 versus 2. Mike gets that frag. It's all down to Drish. That is Dizzy, but no, it'll be Mike's show, people. When Mike is here, you have not got to fear it, especially if you're on the side of ESM, and he's going to make sure he keeps the winning streak alive. 3-0 will be walking into round 4 with ESM, a very, very dominating performance.
An absolutely amazing performance coming up from the side of ESM to hold on against the push of Nat. Just like you said, Foxy, being that spread out throughout the mid-round proved to be just a little bit more than fatal, shall we say. And that is what cost them that round for the most part, because they didn't have enough bodies on deck to make the push to site when when their frontline operators fell, their backline was too far away. They needed to gather up. They needed to push together. They did not. There's a mistake that I saw. Excuse me, right there. There's a mistake that we saw the side of Allegiance make against Mercenaries, and this is something that Nat is doing as well. They're going to need to correct that going forward, not just in this match, but also in all of their upcoming games if they don't want to lose too many and get relegated to Division 3 in Season 2. You never want that relegation going into Division 3 because climbing back out of there can be a very, very big grind and a very tough one as well, because teams coming in from qualifiers will be looking to dethrone anybody who might have a chance of getting into Division 2. As you never know, with the qualifier teams, there could be a real gem hiding in all the rough. Anyway, qualifiers, of course, are a long ways away, as right now round 4 is underway. 3-0, being the scoreline, all in favor of ESM. And once again, on third floor bar, they will be emphasizing on the Mira, who has been allowed to be in play, who has remained in play through the ban phase. And that clash ban right now, ESM, they are probably they're probably very, very happy about being able to play all the operators, most of the operators that they want to. Of course, Wamai is not in play, so to speak, but even then, that's just one small sacrifice for the greater good. Avim on the roam on second floor. There's so many drones that he's taking care of to make sure that the intel gathering for Nat is kept to a down minimum. But he might just be found out in a second now, because there's Dizzy on the fireplace window. There's somebody on the reading room door, and then there's Mist on the mining train museum window. Of him pushed back into a little bit of a corner here inside of Laundry, but of course he's not afraid to take those gunfights. He will hear that rappel into fireplace. All he needs to do is bide his time and be patient, and he will of course get those kills. But no, he's actually going to fall back to sight while being jackal tracked, so that was actually what forced him back right there. But regardless, he's gone back, and he's going to stay inside of sight. Not easily, though. He's on first floor. That's a big roam that he's doing right now. And he might just pull up on second floor, get a couple of kills early, but he's not going to do that just yet. Meanwhile, Drish, he's inside of Piano trying to fight Goyo, but Platoon Kid, we've seen this before from him. He has some great control on that vector, and he hears the Ash rotating around, takes a bit of damage, but he's not dead yet, and that's what really matters to him and the rest of ESM. They know that they can take any gunfight so long as they don't die. Still sitting behind his Vulcan shield right here, Platoon Kid. He's got an ADS to protect this. He knows that there's somebody coming around balcony, but he's just going to take down Dizzy in the meanwhile. That's a drop from the Jaeger. That was much required for ESM to stall this push. He's going to... No, he won't see the other one. He'll get taken out instead as the F2 comes out from Aveli to equalize the man count with that refrag. 40 seconds remain for the side of Nat, and they have to get in, and they have to get in now. Once again, they're a little too spread thin. They'll have to regroup as soon as possible, and they need to do this quickly. Haveli's going to find one. Platoon Kid goes down, and the Melusi's just running into the library. Avim turns around and still gets that kill. What happened with the PDW for Mist? I'm not entirely sure, but Drish is inside of sight, and he's found one. Hamza goes down. It's a 3v2, a 3v1, as Mike goes down as well, but the diffuser's on the roof. Roni's taking it, but it doesn't matter, as Avim will be found by Haveli. They knew he was downstairs off the calls just a second ago, and once again, I'm not sure what Avim was doing right there, running away towards the library, trying to turn around, but this time the Twitch with the F2 was too much for even the Melusi, and that, of course, was what gave the side of Nat round 4, finally, as we see in the Act Fibernet instant replay, a round 1 by the side of Nat. Even though that turnaround from Avim was very, very good, they didn't quite win them the round, because of course that's just one kill. He needed a couple more after that, caught in that 1v3. But even then, round 5 was underway, and ESM are still in a fairly hefty lead, 3-1 up to them. And we're headed back to third floor bar and cocktail lounge.
Well, that was a series, and at least a series of emotions and roller coaster that we happened to go through, because the way that round was supposed to fare was not in the favor of Nat. They happened to make the most amateur mistake you can make when it comes to competitive siege. They left the diffuser on the roof. That was bad. Hey, ESM played right into it. They gave away free picks. They peaked when it was not necessary to. I'm not sure why Hamza was rotating from cocktail in the middle of the match. I'm not sure why Avim had to sprint all his way into reading. It was not like there was a plant going down. There was no need for that kind of aggression or that kind of hurried, hasty decision making that I got to see from Esports. All that to do was just wait. You had Intel, you had a Valkyrie, you had so much more in terms of utility that you happen to deploy, getting the desks open up so that whenever there's a plant going down, you can see it. So much prep, all for nothing. ESM playing that last round very poorly, honestly. It was their mistake all in all. It was not even the fact that Nat played better. It's just the fact that ESM gave away too much. Oh, almost connecting to that. Avim getting that shot onto Zofia. He's just going to have to fall back for the while. But that is for sure going to scare Haveli off. And he's going to fall back for the while. Coming back, we'll be seeing Pakhtun Kid once again holding down the dark spot. While easily, I'm not sure where he is. Maybe this time around as well, he's on the bottom floor. But for now, he's just going to be chilling on the cams. The Vigil will be playing on the side of reading room along with Avim. In fact, Avim quite the switch up. Looks like the Melusi will not be employed from the way they happen to be playing this. But right now, he just wants to chill with the carbine, and I trust him with it, man. Avim is indeed a very ecstatic player. He likes to look for heads and pop them. Sadly, it does not always work out for him. But hey, it's good to see when he does that. There you go, and it's tough. But anyways, that'll be one kill. I'm so sorry. I did not mean any disrespect to him. It's just that over the time of watching him play, I can predict what is going to happen. So yeah, two bodies quickly being dropped easily, and Avim take the fall, and it looks like Nat is back in control. Mike is gonna take some damage as well. We'll be seeing this long peek from Zofia coming out, but I don't think that's useful. The plant will not be going down, but the smokes are here to at least try and disturb Pakhtun Kid. He will get disturbed indeed, and he's gonna have to pull back. We're seeing Mike hold on all the way on that freezer. Hamza's got himself a nice Mira window still to hold, along with the angles on the bottom floor as well. He once again, already AST peak is gonna get punished. Mist is gonna make sure he gets that frag. We've got the Lion coming in, and that's a cleanup. What did I just get to see? Nat is in. They're back in form, and look at that. The skylight drop in. I'm not sure where that run in was from. The first kill on the freezer, and that was pretty much the round, man. We did get to see ESM just drop one by one and not taking advantage of that situation. It's just that ESM not looking very composed in the last two rounds, but I wouldn't really count them out yet. Maybe it was just a little bit of a slump for them for 2 rounds. But hey, ESM, you've got to wake up, and you've got to wake up now, because you happen to lose rounds on defense, especially in a map like Cafe. You need to rethink what you're happening to be doing here.
Absolutely. ESM is going to have to rethink what they are trying very, very quickly, because they only have 1 round to win on defense, and that is round 6. The last round before roll swap is underway, ladies and gentlemen, as it is a 3-2, still in favor of ESM, mind you. But these last 2 rounds, if they have proved anything, is that ESM really needs to stop making those unnecessary peaks. I mean, Foxy said it, I've said it, but they really need to stop just running in random directions and hoping it's gonna work. It really doesn't when it comes to competitive siege, and Nat is making a lot of mistakes on their own that ESN can punish if they, weren't busy running in random directions. Okay, I'll stop now. But the point still stands, and ESM, as Foxy said, needs to wake up soon, because you do not, after winning 3 rounds early, do not want to go into roll swap, equalize 3-3, and then give Nat the advantage of a huge momentum in their favor. ESM are aware of this, and they will be trying their hardest to win this round, but Nat, with these 2 rounds having gone their way, will be looking to continue this winning streak that they found themselves in, and maybe even push ESM back farther. Action phase, of course, is already underway, as we've got the fairly standard stuff coming out from Nat. Nothing too special per se, outside of course, the employment of the Lion.
looks like we've lost Blackjack once again. Ground control to Blackjack. Can you hear me?
Drone activated.
Well, he cannot. Very, very evidently he cannot. So yeah, you guys are stuck with me for a while, people. We've got Avimi. He's got a nice meter window, a very interesting one, in fact, a little bizarre one might say, but hey, this is for me. This is 200 IQ. We've got him just watching this. There's another Mira that's just gonna make sure he gets. That's not the Mira. That's the Goyo. Excuse me. A little confused and trying to read what Blackjack just texted me. But anyways, we've got a 5 versus 5. Make that almost 4 versus 5 because easily is the one who's taking some damage, and that is going to be from the Rappler. Mist still holding this with the line that he's got from Sir Dizzy Mima is going to dispatch Patoon Kid. And that's your Goyo taken off the board. Another kill drops and easily is going to take the fall. The lion charge is coming in. Hamza all the way inside side. Just going to be very patient about this. Meanwhile, Avim doing what he does best. Brings out a frag. Dizzy takes the fall. The buck will not be into play anymore. A 4 versus 3 has been established. He wants to make sure he makes his work. He makes his way around this one. Mike Mima is gonna get another frag, and there goes one more. Where are these frags coming out from? The moment I switch to somebody else, it's gonna be ESM picking up 2 very quick frags. Leaves Ronnie the Simp and Haveli is all left in this 2 versus 3 situation. Ronnie awfully close to side with no cover from Haveli. They've got to regroup and make amends to how they want to make this push happen. ESM might as well be staring into a 4-2 scoreline, but it's going to be the C4 that actually does get baited out very well. 40 seconds left. The push will be in. The smokes go out first, and Haveli's watching the flank. They possibly have flank don't set up for that as well, as that wall bang is just not able to connect for the side of the ace. They've got Haveli pushing in. No, he's just going to be sticking to that. The ace is in and he's going to lose that fight to the Mira. It's a 1 versus 3 essentially for the ace, for the Zofia rather. Haveli making the push happen. 3 fars are in. He is very, very helpless right now. There goes another C4 from Mike. Is going to claim the life of Ronnie the Simp. It's all down to my man Haveli, like I said. A 1 versus 3 with only 10 seconds and 3 heads to find. He won't even find the first one. Hamza, very aggressive. And that statement on round 6 comes alive. More importantly, the aggression from ESM is still paying off for them. A 4-2 is going to be the scoreline as we will be proceeding into halftime. Round 7 will indeed be underway. Let's take a quick look at that in the Act 5 minutes instant replay on how the last round happened to go down. It's just the fact that ESM very, very confident about the way they happen to have these gunfights. Look at that. Why would the Mira even happen to go for that white peak? There's very less time left. All you have to do is wait it out. But Hamza has other plans. He wants to get those kills because he wants to get that MVP. He wants to get that WD Black MVP SSD award. I don't blame him, man. I don't blame him either. We'll be taking a quick look with that being said at the scoreboard, and it does not exactly look very inclined in terms of one person, but hey, it's great, it's good. We'll be going ahead into round 7, and I think Blackjack is back.
I believe I am. If I am audible on the stream, ladies and gentlemen, I have no idea what happened because that seems to pop up randomly. Like at this point, I have
Jack,
zero
but I cannot
diagnosis.
see you, though. Like,
oh
hear
right,
you.
yeah. I did restart Discord to see if that helps, and turns out it did. I just kind of forgot to turn on my side of things. But anyway,
Technical
coming back
difficulties.
to just some technical difficulties, you know.
Yeah.
We all know the thing that we're about to say. Anyway, coming back to the point at hand, third floor bar is going to be the set of choice, and just like Foxy said, ESM finally picking up after a couple of very unfortunate rounds from them, and Nat are gonna have to try and make things work on defense. Cafe, of course, it's not a very heavily defender-sided map for sure. Definitely nothing like Oregon or Clubhouse, and certainly nothing like Theme Park. But even then, defenders have that little bit of advantage, but attackers, if they make a good execute, like Nat did, Nat did have a fairly good execute on the 2 rounds that they won, despite what ESM was doing. As, easy, that's going to take a bit of damage. Looks like there's some spawn peak action coming out from the side of Nat right now. They want to try and find these attackers. Oh, that's a head that Dizzy spotted, but will he pay the price? No, he won't. Platoon Kid gets lit up, and easily he's actually going to find a kill on Ronnie the Simp. The Zofia solo on HP is going to come back and punish the Jaeger for his transgressions against the attackers. And unfortunately for the side of Nat, Ronnie has been judged and found guilty and punished accordingly. One man down for Nat with a minute 55 remaining. They're looking to try and get another one, but no, Harms are going to shut down Drish, and that's a big drop as well, as Excyrus pellets from the Hibana are coming out. But what a shot from Dizzy, beautifully done. He's going to find easily. He's trying to find another one here on Whiskey Window. He could peek wide, potentially get Paktunkit by surprise, who is low on HP, of course, but the Ash is going to just swing a little bit lower on the window and then go for a pre-fire, but still not get taken out. Curiously enough, Dizzy's out of bullets on both ends as grenades are coming out, and that will end him right there, as that beautiful grenade from Vim will make sure that the Bandit will not be allowed to play around in Piano anymore. There is still Mist playing around by Dark Spot, and Aveli just by Skylight. It's a little bit of an exposed position, but Mist finds one. That's a big one, but Hounds are going to find Haveli on the other side. As I said, Haveli was in a little bit of an exposed position, and he goes down because of it, and now it's all down to Mist, who is somehow still alive here on the Dark Spot, which is being watched, I believe, by a Vim. The plant is coming down from Mike, and the intel will come through for Mist any second now. But even in the post-plant 1v3, is he going to go down? No, he's going to find the shoulder of the sledge and punish him for his over-aggressive peek right there. Mike takes a Goomine out of his shin, throws a flashbang in to make sure that the Legion cannot see, and there we go. The flashbang may not have worked at its most efficient effectiveness, excuse me, but Mike was more than enough to punish the Legion for pushing that doorway right at the end. As we see in the Act 5-minute instant replay, what a round it was from the side of ESM once again. Even though Nat put on a lot of early pressure, ladies and gentlemen, ESM were not able, excuse me right there, Nat, they applied a lot of early pressure, but they were not able to capitalize on the operators being low on health. And that's what really cost them, because again, you can apply as much pressure as you want, but if you do not capitalize on it, you will find yourselves losing more rounds than you know what to do with, as third floor bar will be the side of choice once again from the side of Nat on the defense right now, and ESM are 5-2 up going into round 8.
Yeah, I'm loving the pacing that ESM happens to bring on board. It's not just the fact that they look comfortable, they look very confident. We did see them not employ a whole lot on Droneworks, and it's not the fact that I'm blaming them. Why are you not rolling ESM? They don't need to. They're able to get so many free kills just off the bat of the mistakes that Nat is happening to do. Fundamental stuff, ESM just watching out for each other's backs and getting those frags in, making sure that they're walking into the match, at least in the midway, with the advantage in their favor. Excuse me there.
5 seconds
As
remaining.
I take a quick sip of... There we go. Excuse me. My apologies. But yeah, we're back and up and running. 5-2 is indeed the scoreline. We are going into round 8 here. And it might be anybody's round, but from the looks of it, it might as well be ESM taking match point. Once again, aggression from Dizzy. He's gonna find one. What a shot coming in onto Paktunkit. He was not expecting that. The ass takes the fall, and he should have been all the while more wiser, because this is exactly the same stunt we did see Dizzy pull out in the last round as well. But hey, Paktunkit, for now, is gonna be saying goodnight. A 4 versus 5, early aggression paying off on that, unless of course ESM could try and convert this back into their advantage. Avim on the hatches, just gonna make sure some pre-fires come in and whatnot, standard stuff. But there goes another frag. Nat is coming alive now. They're definitely lighting up their scoreboard. We'll be seeing another kill being dropped easily. Takes the fall. That's a nice pre-fire from Ronnie the Simp, as we'll be going ahead with the breaches happening on the side of Cigar Lounges. Hamza, he's got the Nomad. I'm not sure if he's used he's used all of his air jabs yet, as I will not be taking a quick look at that, because what I do want to see is that Avim is making this push happen along with his teammates as they try to dislodge the player that is Drish, who's playing on the dark spot. He's got the smokes, all of the canisters. In fact, we'll still be seeing him wait and watch very peacefully, very patiently, as the match has indeed come to a standstill. Wouldn't really blame anybody, because Nat really brought out the aggression early into the match, and that means ESM did need to take like a brief moment to just fall back and reconsider where they were going wrong. But in that chaos, they could take that advantage out, and the Jaeger got another kill onto the Zofia. late round reinforcement, but very obvious why that is coming out. But hey, this is a flank and a half. Look at this, the push is in. Dizzy's gonna get that frag, and the C4 is gonna find Hamza. That was a double kill for him this round. Does he get the triple? Yes, he gets it. Dizzy, how does he walk away with plays like this? It's only Mike's show, but he won't be staying alive for long, as that was a cleanup. Nat once again getting themselves a flawless round in, as they will be sending out the message loud and clear that they are not out of this fight yet. And especially not letting ESM stay on match point. What a round coming in from them. Nat, amazing stuff, especially from Dizzy. Looks like that early aggression is what is going to help them. A really good round for them. Let's see what we've got for us going ahead on round 9 in this match.
This is what I was talking about back on round 7, ladies and gentlemen. The early aggression from Nat was definitely something they needed to capitalize on. And on round 8, they did. Instead of lighting up multiple operators and killing none, they took Paktunkid down. And that early loss that ESM didn't convert off of was what gave the side of Nat that confidence they needed to make the plays happen later in the round, excuse me. Because again, you can do as much damage as you want. You might even be able to down an operator or two, but with the way the HUD system works, of course, in the Pro League settings, you will never know how much damage you've done, or exactly if you've downed somebody or not. Those kinds of informations are not something you can rely on here. So it's kills or nothing if you're going for raw gunfights. Nat weren't able to win those raw gunfights in round 7, but on round 8 they won 1 instead of multiple and were not punished for it instantly. That was the deciding factor right there, because that meant Nat could get away with some more plays than usual. Something that ESM does, and something that ESM will always, or so far has always done, is they really don't care about how low their operators are in terms of on their health pool, right? They really just don't. They just push in regardless of if it's 5 HP or 10 HP or 100. They just do not care. And that is something that Nat is learning, that you cannot just light up ESM's operators and then think, okay, we can sit back and wait for them to come to us. They will come to you, but they will come with the same confidence that they would have even at 100 HP. So it's best to take them out when you can and wait for them to make the mistakes. ESM has been making a lot of mistakes this match, and that has been costing them more and more as we go on with these rounds. Rounds 4 and 5 were big rounds for Nat, because they figured out that ESM on the defense have very, very massive chips in their armor. But Paktunkid, in the meanwhile, is actually going to find Mist all the way out at 3rd floor. I'm not exactly sure where Mist was, but the Legion is down actually. And that's a big drop as well, because Legion, similar to Wamai, gets his goo mines the farther the round progresses. And a late round Legion, is just a goo mine machine, as we all know. So taking him out early is definitely priority for attackers. That is why he is off the board right now. Minute 35 remains, however, and that's something that ESM now has to worry about, as a secondary hard breach will come out from easily the Capitao, and that is, of course, going to break open the hatch on Cold Room. Freezer or 1st floor, that is. And they'll look to take out those bandit batteries and get a breach going on Cold Room as well. Haveli, in the meanwhile, did that drone spot him? I'm willing to say it did, especially on the jump up to that table going through the window right there. And there is an attacker peeking exactly where Haveli is. I believe that's the Ash. That's Paktunkid, as Vim's going to take some damage from a C4, but not a lot. And that's really not going to affect how he pushes, especially seeing as he's the sledge and he will be playing vertical quite a bit. In the meanwhile, Dizzy playing suspiciously close to that newly opened breach. Now he's going to fall back from Cold Room instead. Alongside, of course, only the Simp, his GSG9 brother, holding down on the back end of Kitchen. It's going to be a very important area, as ESM seems to be wanting to emphasize. But no, Paktunkid made a little bit of a pre-fire, gave him his position, and Aveli pushed in, took advantage of that, making that a 4 versus 4. Equalizer comes in, and now ESM are in a bit of trouble. They've got 25 seconds remaining, but Hamza is going to find one. That's Drish off the board. Flashbangs are coming in towards Freezer, but Roni the Simp is undeterred. Hatchup comes in. Will it be spotted? Not quite, but it will be finally. But that's the Jaeger down instead, as it's a 2 versus 3 right now. He did find a Vim. As the plan is going down, Easy is going to find Dizzy. In the meanwhile, C4 comes in, but it's not going to find the attackers. It's all down to Mute. and he will fall as well. Hamza takes those kills as it was a very last-minute scramble from the side of Samurai Esports, but they were able to clutch it out for themselves right at the end, right when they needed, and they will win round 9 as oh boy, match point is finally confirmed for ESM. 6-3 is the scoreline to them, and Paktoon Kid seems to have had a little bit of a disconnection, unfortunately. We'll see if a rehost is called, but for the time being, match point for ESM.
We'll be going into Act 5 minutes instant replay. I just want to emphasize the fact that the mute came so close to clutching that round, because look at that. The moment he happens to blow the C4, he can see the planter. The planter was indeed exposed, could have gotten that kill, and that would have ended the round. Look at that. The C4 goes out. He peeks it, sees the planter, but a little late, a little too late was the conversion for Samurai Esports to bank upon, and they got it well and good in time. 6-3 is indeed the scoreline, and we'll be going ahead in this match on round 10, and Paktoon Kid has joined back. I'm so glad he has, because I'm in no mood to go for a rehost, as this match is so exciting. Don't want to break out the pacing, honestly. Hey, I got the 6 pick coming in from the cap down to the Zofia and from the cap down to the Pulse. Standard stuff, nothing new. Obviously, just the way Cathay happens to be played. And yep, going ahead, we'll be seeing what these operators can do. Drish has brought the Pulse for very obvious reasons, because we did see the Bandit trying being employed. They happened to change that up with the Kaid from Dizzy as well. I love this adaptation that Nat is able to put on board. See, ESM might be able to walk away with this victory, but Nat does have my respect. The fact that they try to throw ESM off with multiple stuff. It's not just the operator picks that they happen to change up here. They happen to bring out with the early round aggressions, trying to put back ESM in a little bit of a spot, Alright, hey guys, let's just chill out for a bit. Let's just reanalyze what's happening and then go for the push. In that little window where they could convert on, Nat made sure they converted, and that's exactly why the scoreboard reads 3-6. That being said, we'll be seeing ESM sit on the match point very, very comfortably. So they might as well be able to get this round in, and that obviously does mean that will looks like there's been a server lag, I believe. We just quickly confer with the players, as I don't want them to have a bad experience, that is all. Hey, we know the way this game happens to be, and looks like there is no server lag. The players, never mind. Ronnie does have a little bit of server lag, but I think that does follow up with simping. No, that was a joke. Ronnie the simp, we will be seeing him make his... No, that's not Ronnie the simp. He's actually on the... He's all the way on the prep room. As Paktoon Kid just told me, he's actually been having it from first round. Oh, that's sad. I could go for a reverse if they want to, that is. But let's see, we're going ahead. What will be, can you see from them? The push will be anyone. Now, Mr. already picking up a fight. That's going to be the nomad outside the museum window. Could go for the peak, but no. He's all the while more wise. Missed. It's just going to have to fall back. We're seeing Drish watching this little hazard stuff, and there he goes. Sledge already doing the soft breathe stuff, and is just gonna make sure he maybe rips out a C4 and uses it to the perfection. For now, it's not gonna be him. It's just gonna have to hold back and make sure that whatever he does is useful. Kaid C4 goes out, Dizzy trying to get that, but no, he's not. He's just only gonna be doing so much damage. There's a diffuser drop in front of them as well. They could go for the speed, but no, the diffuse being retrieved, and the time window of getting that kill has also passed as well. Mike has brought up the Lion, and the largest Lion chances are going out. The E1D, our Legion mind that he's got to take out in the brown stairs. A 5 vs 5, no bodies dropped yet, and that only means that the last minute that we're going into now, as I speak about, is going to be a bloodbath. Cannot wait to see what goes down, who's going to get those frenzy of kills, and who's going to be on top of each other, at least on top of the easy ones. ESM would definitely like to be on it. Another E1D gets popped, and Mike will be making his push on bronze stairs, still sticking it. Very dedicated to the way he's pushing this, but no, he does not know there's a Melusi that's pushing him as well. He's gonna get down, does a little bit of damage, but that's just not enough. Dizzy gets a frag, but here's the refrag right back in from Ace. That's the Zofia, in fact, pushing up on the side. He's got the diffuser retrieved as well. Could go for the plant easily. Yes, he will be sticking it, but yes, the double duty coming in from him. The Legion gets a frag and gets another. Easily won't be sticking the plant anymore because he's taken off by Haveli. It's all under Aveen. He pushes up, finds one. Very confused what he's supposed to do, and that is once again going to make sure they get round 10 in. And let's Take a look at that in the Act 5 and an instant replay on what just happened. That frenzy, that chaos, that fury of kills I was talking about, the bloodbath going ahead towards the end of the round here. We'll be going in round 11 with Nat trying to make a strong comeback, but just not enough to try and equalize, at least not yet. 2 more rounds to go. Let's see if they'll be able to do that, because all Samurai Esports has to do is just get 1 round in and they'll be walking away with a very satisfactory victory.
6-4 is the scoreline right now, and Nat is 2 rounds away from equalizing right there. As we can see, Dizzy, Mist, and Aveli have been doing most of the killing, while, of course, the remaining players have been putting in the support, as, there really isn't a number. When it comes to support in Rainbow Six Siege, it comes in a variety of ways, and you can never underestimate a player's usefulness in a particular match. Regardless of that, the point at hand is as simple as this. Nat needs 2 rounds, and they need to force ESM to make mistakes. They did that in the last round on First Floor Kitchen. ESM made those mistakes. Mike pushing down the brown stairs, I'm not really sure what his idea was, but whatever it was, did not go his way at all. It didn't go to plan, and he kind of, faced the music because of it. So when it comes to this match, Nav versus ESM, something that we're seeing right now is similar to what we saw back in the game. Once again, I'm referring to the game between Mercenaries and Allegiance, because Allegiance looked fairly similar to the way Nat is playing right now. They made a host of mistakes. That is Allegiance, of course. Against Mercenaries, you can never really get away with making mistakes in front of Mercs and, walk away with that. So they did lose 7-4. But they have a lot of potential. They showed Mercenaries that, they're a team that is very, very serious about making those adaptations, changing how they play, and forcing Mercs into making mistakes. Nat is doing the exact same right now. Sure, against ESM, they've managed to get away with some mistakes here and there, but that's because ESM have just had some really dodgy plays every now and again. So it really comes down to the fact that Nat has managed to push ESM back quite a bit this game. And even if they don't win it, it is still a good match that they have had because of how much they were able to do. Coming back to the round at hand, however, Dizzy, once again, the bandit playing inside of Piano Cigar Lounge. He's got those punch hole angles right on the piano stage, but that's going to be spotted out and probably shot at as soon as Easily sees it. He will, and there we go. The drop comes in. Unfortunately, the ADS time on that is a little too long. And what is that run out from Haveli? Where was he going? Even though he nearly got Easily right there, that's a very interesting run out from the side of Nat. That's a big mistake that they just made, because now they've just lost 2 operators for the cost of, for the profit of none. They haven't gotten a single operator. Sure, Easily is a little low on HP. That might affect his push, but that leaves 4 ESM players on 100 HP, more than willing to take that push spot. Gaskner goes out, not going to do any damage to any ESM members, but is going to deter their push for the time being, as Mist and Roni are covering 2 interesting angles right now, but he's going to find Thrish in the meanwhile. Looks like his push will not be deterred, as he went on the White Stairs window and took care of yet another defender. That's the Smoke as well, who was playing around by the bathroom area, and Mike is actually going for the plant already. This needs to be denied, but do they know where it is? It's on default. How did Nomad not see the push-up from Mist? What just happened right there? But no, the refrag is in from the Skylar drop from Ash, and there's Platoon Kid with another. Roni the same got Easily in the meanwhile, but he was refragged instantly, as Platoon Kid made up for that rather odd lapse in concentration from the Nomad, as ESM will take round 11, and they will finally put this match on board. They were on match point, they were on round 5 for quite a while, and they will finally finish it off with a 7-4 victory in their favor, after some fantastic plays coming out from both teams. And with all said and done, ladies and gentlemen, that is the last match that we had on stream. Of course, we've got a little bit to go before we finish off tonight, but even then, what a match that came out on Cafe between Nat and Samurai Esports. They did an amazing job. Both teams did an amazing job. And unfortunately, just like with Allegiance, Nat, it was not to be, as ESM were our victors on Cafe Dostoevsky. A fantastic match coming out from them. Wouldn't you agree, Foxy?
I'd have to agree with you on that, and I cannot wait to share my insights about what went down in the match, as we'll be quickly going into reliving the moment of how the match happened to go down. Look at that. We did get to see ESM starting off strong. Honestly, it was more than just a statement that they happened to send out first. In the beginning, it was just ESM's show. But Nat warmed up to it. They understood that, all right, we've got to change up. Whatever we are doing is not working. And once again, kudos to them for doing that, but just not enough. At least not what they needed to beat ESM. ESM has indeed, well, when we come back to the history of this team, they have played in the tier 1 teams, that is in Division 1 for quite a while. They know exactly what feeling the heat of the tournament is. Nat, though, they've had a massive roster change, at least from the last season, and I wouldn't really, bank too much on them. I cannot really make those predictions. I cannot just go out and try and make a specific prediction out of the situation. But that being said, it was a good performance coming in from Dizzy, especially when it came down to Nat. We didn't see a huge play from the other players of Nat. That is, Dirish happens to be one of the most looked out player for, and in fact the star player for Nat as well. I got to see some amazing plays for him, some impressive stuff, just not today. Today was indeed the day they needed the most, but boy oh boy, ESM brought out the best game for themselves, and they actually enjoyed playing the match. I could see that just the way they happened to be playing it. I didn't get to see huge emphasis in terms of how, just the way we happen to be implying, all right, this is methodical, this is structural, this is how you got to push. You want to make sure you are trying to take down somebody from a choke point. You've got to use this amount of utility, XYZ, ABCD. All of that didn't matter today, because both of these teams, they liked playing a little off the meta. We did see the Mina unbanned as well, so that gave us a difference in terms of how the match was already going to go down onto. I just love the fact that ESM brought that out. Bring out the Mira and using her to perfection is something else. It's two different things. Able to use that very well with the roam coming in, even if the site was on the bottom, is really good stuff. That out of the way, ESM just amazing with the gun plays, very confident in terms of what they were doing. I wouldn't really say they were very structural though, honestly. Honestly, it looked like the players sometimes, they didn't know what they were doing themselves, but it worked out for ESM. And more importantly, it was the aggression and maybe it was the randomness that did throw off Nat a little bit off the hook. That being said, a very definitive victory for ESM. They'll definitely be very happy about this, and I'll be expecting to see more from them on the day 2, that is tomorrow. But before we get ahead of ourselves and into day 2 and whatnot, Blackjack, thoughts on reliving this match and its amazing moments?
Well, for one, Foxy, I definitely, like you said, Nat and Allegiance, both of them had very good games despite the loss today. And they'll be looking into that as we go along, of course, seeing as, again, it's just those moments that both these teams have to come back on this VOD. Hopefully they do come back on this VOD and see where they went wrong, to sort of self-evaluate, and improve as they go along. That's the whole spice of esports in Rainbow Six. It's always self-evaluation and improvements based off of that. And Nat did a fantastic job just improving in the game itself. Once again, forcing ESM into making mistakes, just those odd pushes here and there. Sure, there was a level of randomness to the way ESM was playing today. And one thing I definitely would like to point out is the fact that bans like the Womai ban are slowly catching up to, to the esport, because the Womai actually is like one very big chunk of the meta, the utility meta of Rainbow Six currently, and banning him early on means that attackers can actually, sort of reserve those flashbangs, reserve those grenades, make sure maybe Zofia doesn't lose both of her concussives or both of her impact nades, just taking out ADSs and magnets and every other piece of utility out there. Defenders have to be a little more careful with how they put down their banshees or their evil eyes. Sure, they may be bulletproof, but they are susceptible to soft breach. That is the whole point, right? So I am very, interested to see the my ban, and I am very interested to see what other bans we get to see coming out. Because today, seeing Mira unbanned, ESM saw that chance, they took it. The Clash ban was pretty much just an expendable ban that they took, and they were able to make very, very good plays out of that. So the ban phase is improving, everything's improving, and I am more than excited than ever before to see what we have coming out from all of our teams in future games. That will always be true for our region, and that will always, of course, hold true no matter what Rainbow Six game I am casting, because that just is that way. R6 Esports is something we all love here. That is why we're here, of course, and it's something we'll continue to love as it goes on evolving over time. With all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a quick rerun of what we saw today. The 3 stream matches that we had, of course. The first match that we had was between Love Bomb and TRN8 Valiants, a match that really was one-sided, and I wasn't there to cast this, of course. I wasn't really here, but Foxy and Baba did a fantastic job casting that. Kudos to the both of you. But it was a 7-0 for TRNA Valiants on the map of Coastline, a very dominating start to their Division 2 run in Season 1. 100%. Then, of course, we had Mercenaries versus Allegiance in map 2, which was Villa, of course, the one that I did get to cast, so to speak. Mercenaries, just like I said, Allegiance, they did a great job at pushing Mercenaries back time and time again. And even when they were making mistakes, they forced Mercs to make some similar mistakes, which, made Mercs lose rounds. Because there's really no other explanation for Allegiance pulling out flawless rounds every now and again against Mercenaries when they were, in the deficit. They really look strong, but they need to improve quite a bit if they want to take down a team like Mercenaries going forward. And then, of course, the final match, once again, between Nat and ESM, a similar story for Nat, which is they'll need to improve, they'll need to look at VODs, and they'll need to prepare better for their opponents going forward. They did well against ESM, but they'll have to do even better, and we'll be keeping our eyes on Nat as the seasons progress. With all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for all of us here at the WD Black the Esports Club Pro League. That has been it from myself, Blackjack, and of course our co-hosts Foxy and Baba Gusta, as we'll be saying good night, and we'll be coming back tomorrow with day 2 of Division 2. Stay tuned and good night.